would respect that because his favorite squad back in the day was a bunch of dudes who did their job. San Antonio.
You were nice.
Y'all did your job. You did your job.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Spurs fan.
Spurs life. You know?
I've always respected them. Like they're not my favorite by a long shot, but I respect them totally.
Hey,
we weren't like, you know, we weren't amped to watch now. We just got it done.
Everybody loved the Spurs except for the television networks.
Except you're right. Except you're right. So we weren't like, you know, must see TV, but we were doing a little something.
They did.
What's going on? What's up, ISIS? In the building? My bad. I forgot to tell you we went live, but I knew we weren't talking about nothing, you know.
No, that's so good.
I think V caught me one time. I pushed the live button too early. He said something he was uncomfortable about. I was like, it's all good, brother.
Did I?
Yeah, I remember you saying someone said that, yo, are you from the show or whatever it was? They recognized you.
Oh yeah. I didn't want to be out there like I was bragging and no shit like that. Yeah. It is.
Nah. You good.
Yeah.
Good. Oh, hold on.
Peace to the planet.
Well, you know what? Listen, technology is something else, man. I put on my phone so I can make sure I greet people who come through, and whatnot. But listen, it's saying I can cast this on my television. Like I can cast a lot or disappear. No, there it is right there. Like I can put her on the big screen next to me. I'm not gonna do that, but that's deep. Yeah, good to see y'all.
Peace, my sheik.
What up, Key? Yeah, now there you go. There's the wave button.
Peace, Nikki. Is that Nikki or Nike?
That's Nakisha.
Okay. She put Nikki for short. Okay.
She's doing a little something.
Yeah.
Switching it up. You know what I'm saying?
Isis Bay. She's dope, yo.
Isis in the building, man.
Yeah.
She's not playing.
A lot of great work.
I got a chance to see her in person today. That was on point.
Okay.
That was on point.
Yeah.
But yeah, we live, man. Yo, my brothers. I know Nikki for short. There we go. Okay. I know we doing we did like a little mini intro as soon as we got on behind the scenes, but what's good with y'all? How y'all feeling? What's the word? How the family? Your health?
Good, you know what I'm saying? Working a whole lot. Moving up. You know, I know a lot of times in these kind of environments, it's a weird balance between what we're talking about and work, quote unquote. But in my career, I'm doing great, and you know, the payoff is that I could be me doing it. You know what I mean? I don't have to remove the bass from my voice. I don't have to do anything but be myself and be a high performing person. You know what I mean? So for the moment, it's good. Of course, the long-term goal is to move away and have my own thing. But while I'm straddling the fence and doing both, I'm just trying to knock both out the park. Doing well with the family. Kids are doing well in school. Everything is where it's supposed to be right now. You know what I mean? Being creative, still writing a whole lot. And, you know, hopefully I'll have some fruit to bear very shortly in that way.
How that children's book?
Good, man. It's I'm just being real nitpicky. It's basically done. I got like 3 in the can, really. I just need to stop being an asshole and like let them go, basically.
Yeah, go ahead and polish that craft, bro. Polish that craft, man. You ain't being nitpicky. Polish that craft.
Yeah.
Yo, something else you said. Maybe we'll pick it up in a few. But when you were saying all you got to do on the job is be yourself, that's a big statement. I know a lot of people who on jobs and they don't feel they feel they got to act a certain way. You know, can't be their full black selves.
Absolutely.
But that's a topic that we might touch on.
That's a good topic to have.
Talking about the representative.
Yeah, they put that mask on. It's just like, yo,
you
don't even let people know that you for us. You just kind of there. That's deep.
Hey, man, you know how it is, bro. You got to change the accent up. You know, this is Chris Howard that you're calling here. I won't say the company at the bank. But yeah, we're glad to hear from.
I will say. Go ahead. I'm sorry. Please.
No. Go ahead, bro. I was just messing.
No. That's real shit. It's like funny as hell. You know what I'm saying? But what I would say is the ill thing is that I say all of that, but also there's a balance there too. And this is a word that I typically use a lot. what is it called? Lingua franca. So lingua franca is basically a term that basically means it's a common language or common type of dialect that you use, that is used globally on a certain part of the planet in order to exchange commerce or do business. So for instance, in most times in science, the lingua franca is Latin. I mean, like many of the terms that you find in science is Latin. So the lingua franca typically is Latin for science. In other parts of different industries, it's different types of languages. Many times English is the prevailing language.
Right.
But that's the kind of mindset that I use when I talk about, going into these offices or corporate structures. Now, if you're just like selling out, that's a problem, right? But there's nothing wrong with speaking the language of the people who are in that situation in order for you to get your message across and to navigate how you navigate. You know what I'm saying? So I think that there's a line between those two things, and people have to be conscious of themselves, maintain who you are, maintain what you stand for. But if you need to walk through that door saying water as opposed to water, then do that. So don't sell out, but also don't feel bad about navigating the way you need to navigate to bring those resources home for your family and shit.
Right. Until you can establish your own mix.
Absolutely.
Yeah, man. Peace to everyone coming through. Peace. We just getting started, loosening it up. It's been a minute, warming up. You know what I'm saying? I hope everyone is good. I hope your family is good. Hope the money's coming in right. You know what I'm saying? Hope you're not having to compromise yourself where you lose your integrity. We don't want to do that. Don't do that. Don't compromise your integrity or who you are. Deal with all forms of disrespect. Cancel out all negative energy, weird energy. I might be a topic. I've been dealing with a lot of weird, goofy energy these last, and it's time to address this thing, man. Yeah. These brothers and sisters crazy out here. I don't know what's wrong with people, man. What's wrong with them, V? Howard, what's wrong with them?
Oh, man.
Weird energy out here, man. I don't know what people's problem is. I'm going to deal with that later on, though. We're going to deal with that.
You got to start calling names, man. You know what I'm saying? Just put it out there so niggas know. Like, I be catching you on a little post, and I be like, yo, just say it, man. Just say it, yeah. Just say it.
They know who they are. They know who they are. But it's all good. Howard, man, you mentioned
what's up, bro?
Before we went live.
You
about that tonic that Ket Waz recommended to us.
Yeah, buddy. Yeah.
You want to drop some science on that herbal tonic? You know what I'm saying?
Chris is single too, ladies. Chris is single, you know.
Yo, peace, bro. Hey. I would just say this, man.
What you got,
brothers? If you out there and you looking for a more natural, because I mean, when I came to Ket, just let everybody know.
Yeah.
I'm a runner.
Okay.
Like 5Ks, 10Ks, and everything. Work out in the morning, boxing, and also cross training. Okay. And so I said, hey, do you have anything that's gonna help a brother? Give me that extra boost. That natural boost. And of course he said straight up, he said, yo, bro, I got you. Like this man, of course he mentioned like strong back, Tom got Ali, and I'm like, that's a different type of workout. But yeah, anyway. So he shot me the first pack, bro. He shot me the first pack. Was on it for a week, and I was like, oh.
He felt the magic.
Yo, hey, them burpees hit different when you get on them mental.
Burpees hit different.
Them burpees hit different. Yo,
anybody out there do burpees? If you do burpees, say it in the comments. Let us know in the comments if you do burpees.
Bruh, 2 mile split went down 45, anywhere from a minute to down to 45 seconds in less than a month. And I was telling the brothers, man, like there's a commercial out there for the other man marketing his product. But I will quote the line, fellas, it'll give you the energy, and ladies, y'all will love it too, because Mentonic Sacred Roots, I endorse it with my fullest endorsement.
Shout out to Sacred Roots, Ket Wise and the company, man. We're talking about that men tonic that he tells us to get and have you on point in all areas, gentlemen. All areas. Don't be too prideful to get your body right. All areas.
It's necessary.
Naturally. Huh? Okay.
Malcolm Rose says, I hate burpees, but I do them, bro. Do them on some men tonic, brother. They hit different, bro. They hit different.
Tamara talked about they're of the devil. Tamara, we might bring you up here because we got a hoop. Me and you still got a hoop.
I should be hooping.
Yeah.
Hold on. Is that Tam from the G?
Shout out to Detroit. Yeah, Detroit.
Oh, yo, she was the enforcer.
Oh, that's what's her name. Yeah.
Yeah, that's the one. Yo, T Tam, bro. Cool. Yeah, Tech Tam.
He said T Tam in the building. Yeah, man.
T Tam.
Yeah, man. She got jokes. So I'm listen. I'm gonna send her a link right now. She talking about it's the devil.
He's going to Sacred Roots.
What up, G-Quan? G-Quan said, hey, listen, he can't do it like he used to, but he got a little something. He got a little something. So listen, we hope everyone's good with the health mix. If you're just joining us, we appreciate you coming through. Hope your family's good. Hope your health is good. We're talking about the products from Sacred Roots. Brother Ket Wise, we're telling you, I think it's fire, man. It's fire. If someone could put the website in the comments, I think I can do it right here. Yeah. But typing on this phone at the same time is a beast. Hold on. Sacred.
Really cool and knowledgeable brother too, man. You know what I mean?
Yeah, man.
No doubt, man.
You know what I mean?
No doubt, man.
I was supposed to have him on the one like two Thursdays ago, but I wasn't able to get on.
Yeah.
So I want to bring him and Melita back. Also, my boy Desmond. Desmond has started a pickleball league in Chucktown. What up, David? David in the building.
That's my guy right there.
Yeah. So he want to come on next week. I hope his schedule works out the way he can get on and share about some of the health things he's been doing and staying active and doing all that good stuff.
Absolutely.
Yeah, man. Then we'll have another conversation about COVID-19 and what people are doing to stay safe and navigating. You know, some people took the vaccine, some people didn't. What are you doing to keep your health, keep your family healthy, and all of that?
Yeah.
So we'll get into that a little bit next week. But so what y'all got, man? Like what? I know. I'm hoping Jamal comes up here. I'm hoping he finds a way so we can celebrate this brother's big news.
Yeah.
And the transaction he has made, because this brother wanted us to talk about relationships for the longest.
Yeah.
And so the irony.
Yeah. I hate that we caught it. Like we didn't really catch him in his relationship bag before this.
Yeah.
I wish that we could have had like a before and after. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
We kind of caught it in pieces, and it was hilarious. You know what I'm saying? But I'm happy for the brother, man. You know what I mean? Really, really solid dude. Cares about his people a whole lot. And I know that this is something that was on his docket. Like he was wanting, you know, not on some egotistical way, but just on some natural. Like he was needing a grounding force. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And it seems to be that grounding force for him, man. So peace and love to him.
Yeah, man. Peace and love to Jamal, man. Shout out to Jamal. I hope he comes up here because we got a little special music for the brother. So we can celebrate the brother's what we call, I don't even know what we calling it, you know, his investment into the future.
Yeah.
Say what you say, Big?
It's an engagement.
It's an engagement. I just want to use the E word. I was trying to say,
okay, got
say everything else but the E word. But yeah, his engagement.
Yeah.
This brother's excited, man. That's what I'm talking about. So
what's up with you though?
What's up with me? Yeah, man. I'm good. Like I'm gonna start with what Chris was talking about with those products from Sacred Roots. And some might say, yo, is this an endorsement for Sacred Roots? Yes, it is. Yes, it is. Go to that website. I put it in the comments.
Absolutely.
Do some shopping. Get your body right. You know what I'm saying? Out here struggling in your 40s and 50s and 30s. Don't do that. Get that body right, man.
Yes, sir.
Get that energy going. But yeah, so I've been on the what am I taking? I can't even recall how many things. I was taking the antiviral pills just to make sure. I don't know what's going on with COVID and all that kind of stuff, but you know, I kind of have my own personal vaccination every single day. Dandelion root. Shout out to Melita telling me to get the dandelion root. There go Detroit's finest right here. There she goes.
What's going on?
Hello, good afternoon, or good evening, rather. Sorry.
Good evening. How you feel?
I'm doing good. Now,
you good?
I can't stay on long, but I wanted to comment about the burpees. They are the devil.
The burpees get you right, man. What you doing?
No. Okay, when I used to do CrossFit, we had a coach that say burpees made body. So, made the body. So, yeah, they're great, but they're horrible.
She said they're great, but they're horrible, like suicide. I get it.
No, now when it came to basketball, it was all about suicides and Diablos. I don't know if y'all did Diablos, but where you kind of like going around the perimeter, and then you'll have the coach that he'll blow the whistle. And at the end, you got
come front. Yeah, we had that in the army. In the army is where I did that the most. Yeah,
that's dope.
Now, Tamara, when the last time you did a burpee?
It's probably been a year. Probably since the last time I did CrossFit. About a year and a half since the last time I did CrossFit.
Okay. I thought you
come on, T. You can knock them out.
I thought you about to say.
I didn't say I couldn't do it. I just said they are of the devil, so I don't want to give him any of my time and energy.
Man, come on, T. Come on, T. You can knock out 20 right now.
No, I can't do all of that. No. It's been quite honestly, like I'll run like you. I run in the morning. I'm in the gym, but I haven't did like the burpees probably about a year and a half. Like all of my teaching that I did with my classes, it's been a wrap for a couple of years.
Okay, so what do you do to stay like for exercise? What do you do?
Well, I run. So I'll either run about I'll probably do 3 miles on the treadmill, or I'll do it outside. But see, I used to be a fitness coach. So I would teach Zumba, I would do aerobics, I did partly CrossFit, spin. So I used to do all of that.
Okay. A little something, but no burpees.
And for your soldiers. So it wasn't just like all women in the class. I was teaching CrossFit. I was teaching PT for soldiers.
Okay. Oh, wow. She said she was teaching PT.
Yeah. 6 o'clock in the morning. So just right in the class, taking spin and all that stuff.
Look at this.
Tamara, are you based in Charlotte? Or are you still in D?
I'm in Columbia. So I'm in Columbia, South Carolina. So I specifically came down for Fort Jackson.
Okay.
Camp Jackson.
No, Fort Jackson.
No, Camp Jackson. I know with a mix.
It got the sign on the outside. It was Camp Jackson historically, but yeah.
What is Bomani complaining about? Those captions at the bottom, or what captions? What are you talking about?
Another Yip Yap session.
Oh, you don't like
to remove those.
I'll move that because I don't want whiners. I don't want whiners complaining. There you go, Bomani. How's that? That better? You good?
So Tamara, from a woman's perspective, talk to me about what your view is on life post-COVID.
In what regards?
I guess not even post-COVID, just, in the midst of what's going on, whether it be, labor, working in this environment, or whether it's, vax and no vax, or is it, dating in this environment? Just give me whatever you want to give me about your experience.
Well, far as the vax, I think when we Marifa had the one session before, I did mention that I did get vaccinated. It was more so for travel that I have coming up. So, I know there's the exemptions that you can have, but given the countries that I'm going to, they're looking for the card. So that was my biggest reason. Outside of that, I will say, I don't even know from a women's perspective, but it's just kind of being back in the world, period. And in spaces where, I'm dealing with more racial issues versus gender. So I think that's been my biggest thing. But I will say from a perspective of Black women dealing with folks and specifically in academia where I don't think they're quite used to seeing us, especially in the fields that I'm in. So kind of navigate that.
Yeah. No doubt. I appreciate that.
Yeah. So, I don't know. I guess I've been cool. I hadn't really experienced much. Definitely had some loss, but other than that, I will say for a year and a half, I was cool being out of the office, at home, not in the mix, but being back in. It's a little bit interesting.
It is. Right. I feel like people have been siloed, it's weird because we're in an environment, especially if you work in corporate. It sounds like a lot of companies have given good lip service in terms of when George Floyd happened and a bunch of different things took place. A lot of the company lines were, we care about what's going on, and let's be heavy-hearted in terms of speaking about social issues and things like that. Mm-hmm. But what I've also seen and heard and kind of read about was as people started to get back to work, they're running up against new levels of resistance because you've had racists who have been in their homes for the past 2 years, looking at Fox News, looking at websites that kind of confirm what their racist and sexist thoughts are. So now they're being unleashed back into the world, communicating face to face with people who they hate or who their hate has increased with. And it's just been very interesting to watch those things take place. So
I'm sorry.
No, and they're leaving because right about now, brother, I think, what was it? I think a few weeks ago, man, it was the largest resignation period in our company, in our country, where folks are actually leaving their jobs now, where they're either going into the entrepreneurial way of life, where basically it's just they're saying like, you know what? I really don't like what I do, and I don't like the people that I work with. Yeah. And I don't feel like I'm actually getting my worth, whether it be monetarily, respect, or anything else. So they're just gone. So you're absolutely right.
Yeah, that's dope.
Oh, shoot. Yep.
Hell yeah.
Now, he said the dating word. So Warren, I don't know if you want to deal with that.
She strategically omitted that from her conversation.
I did. I went down the line with the questions. I started with the vaccination first.
It's all good.
Okay.
Then I started with the job. No, okay, this would probably be an interesting topic. So I am seeing somebody in the sense like we see each other like occasionally. We both work a lot. Okay. But prior to him, I mean, my dating life was like really kind of obscure, but I think it was more so, and I think guys hate hearing this, but so I would like to get your take on it. I would say that I've been busy just doing stuff, and I hate when like women say I'm just kind of out there doing me.
Yeah.
Okay, technically I was, but in the sense of I just been busy.
Yeah.
And I think a lot of times when we say that, you all think it's an excuse. Like, really? Are you just really too busy to be out there and meet somebody? And it's like, well, kind of, yeah. Like, it didn't kind of happen that way. I mean, not purposely. It's just like when you kind of engage in the things that you like to do, the work is fun. You're really focused on the passions that you have. To me, it just could kind of like, time flies by. But I think some of you all think that is actually an excuse.
Fellas,
I guess you do or don't. I don't know.
So you were saying that having, or I'm doing two things at once. You were saying you being busy is looked at as an excuse from us?
I think so sometimes.
Okay. As if, he thinks you're trying to kind of like.
And I think we put the same. I think we've had the same excuses, or have put the same thing on men as well. Like, if it was really of interest to you, you would make time or effort for it. But then being in the midst of it, it's like I get what you're saying, but at the same time, like right now, I have so much that I want to do, or I have so much to do, and it's not an excuse. But that's where the effort has been put.
Right.
But I think sometimes it's heard as an excuse, as if you're just kind of putting your effort there, as opposed to either looking at some deficiencies you may have or some issues that you may have had in other relationships. And so you're just trying to avoid it. When it's like, no, I'm just really out here just living life.
You're just being intentional.
The focus.
No, you're just being intentional on the stuff that you want to do right about now. That's not an excuse. That's just you. That's you being intentional.
I think for men and women, sometimes that is seen as an excuse.
I think sometimes it can be, but that's just based on the individual who chooses to use it as an excuse. And many times those who use it as an excuse are lying about being busy. You know what I'm saying? But for you, or for people like you who are genuinely out there doing their thing, not in a bad way doing your thing, but like actually doing your thing. You know what I'm saying? I think that it's great. And I think that as long as you continue to do your thing, you'll find people who are also doing their thing in the similar way that you're doing your thing. And I think that's when you'll be in the same space, sparks happen, and all that kind of stuff. So I would say keep on doing what you're doing. But I would also tell you that I've been out the game for a very long time. So that's just what I know about, my previous life and just me extrapolating and looking at other people and seeing how they move. But I wouldn't imagine that's changed too much in the past 10 years.
So being busy, was that the thing that caused it to not go anywhere? Because you're saying this is the situation before the current one, right?
Really kind of just, I would say probably for the last 10 years or so, for me, at least. Yeah.
You've been too busy for 10 years?
And honestly, I'm going to say yes. Not that it hasn't been a goal. For example, when I do my 5 or 10 year goals, just kind of thinking about what I'm looking at for the year, what things I want to accomplish. I would say the top thing that would typically come to mind is okay, I want to do this travel. I'm looking to pursue these different things within my career. I want to go for this degree. Oh, by the time we get down to about 4 or 5, okay, maybe let's start a family, have some kids. Immediately, those aren't the first things at the top of my list, but it isn't intentional. It's just that hasn't just been my interest. And so as I'm going about just doing life, if I meet somebody, great. If I don't, it's nothing that I put much stock into. That just hasn't been my sole focus. Now, I will say as I get older, I kind of think about that. I'm 41. I have no problem telling my age, but, I kind of think about that moving forward. But when I say busy, it hasn't been that I put that on the back burner. It just hasn't been my major focus.
Yeah. Okay.
Either way, man, it's got to be organic. Because I just know from a dude's perspective, man, the times I've been single as a slice of cheese, I couldn't find a woman if I wanted to, if I had $100 bill tied around my neck. But the times it's you know what? I'm just going to do the things that I want to do. You getting calls at 2 a.m. in the morning. I was just calling to see what you were,
You getting the what? WID?
Mentonic.
Yeah. Let me holler at Sacred Roots. Let me grab a few things. I'll be there with you now. But no, man. Anytime with relationships, so with how you move, I just think it's got to be organic. Because if you're doing your thing and somebody sees that, they should be able to respect that. In fact, they should even encourage you, yeah, pursue your goals, pursue your dreams.
I get it. But I'm trolling now. Let's go.
Go ahead.
At the same time, if you, I don't even know how I want to put it. You got to make time a little bit though.
Yeah.
Right? A little something. It can't just be you super, super busy. A little bit of time, right? Okay, let me ask you a question. How often were y'all seeing each other?
Probably a couple times a week.
2 weeks. How many?
Probably a couple times a week. Mm-hmm.
Oh, a couple times a week.
That's good.
Well, and he wanted more time?
No, I think we just got busy just with all the things that were going on in life.
Oh,
go ahead. I'm sorry.
You were saying so y'all had a connection, seen each other a couple times a week, and then you got busy, and that kind of
just time doesn't kind of line up and
all right.
I
thought you said you really didn't see each other that much because you were already so busy. But you're saying
I think it was both. Okay, you meet somebody, there's some interest there. You're still busy already, but you're kind of carving out time as much as possible. But then as more things start getting to each other's plates, it's okay, well, I'm pulled there, he's pulled here. And it just doesn't, there isn't anything wrong. It's just as you're trying to establish a relationship, but then that time isn't put in, you just kind of drift apart a little bit. So
right. You don't seem like you were too,
the thrill is gone.
It seemed like when y'all kind of
the thrill is gone away.
And I think that's the thing. It's typically is like that. I can say I never really had a relationship that didn't end amicably, where it was really contentious, drawn out, we hate each other. It just I think I've been fortunate in that sense. In the relationships that I have, they have ended on good terms. And it's more so because, okay, didn't quite see eye to eye. Let's kind of, be friends as opposed to becoming enemies, So I've been good in that sense. But yeah, that's typically how it's just kind of ended up. Like,
so you weren't feeling a man like that. You was that a couple times a week.
I was waiting.
It went that way. So it's like, you ain't lose no sleep over, right?
Yeah, I mean, it wasn't bad.
That's a nice way. Like, my brother, if you're watching this, brother, you stay strong.
What I would say,
you're watching her right now, wishing you can get back. You keep hope alive.
You know what, bro? Your first mint tonic is on me, bro. I got you.
It's weird because we live in a system in this country where things are left more to chance. We are raised on R&B songs, and we're raised on rom-coms, and we're raised on the idea that meet by chance and marry for love, or we are raised on let's go to especially like hip hop culture for our general age group. It's go to the club and meet somebody. And I think that we haven't done as good of a job as what we need to in creating a system of mating. When you talk about people on the East, like not like New York, but like Afghanistan or like Africa, people tend to be a lot more intentional. Some may argue too damn intentional because it's like too strict. But I think what likely needs to happen, and I'm no guru, I'm just talking, that we as a culture need like a healthy balance between like the whimsical, I'll meet this person and then we'll find it, and then we'll fall in love, and a structured, organized way by which like-minded, like-spirited individuals who have focused goals and objectives can meet. You know what I mean?
But let me share this as well. So, and I don't know if this is more just a regional difference. So I think there's a difference in how relationships are approached from the North versus the South. And I'll give you an example. So when I first moved down to Columbia, I was 28. Now, mind you, when I was back home, the big thing was as a push as far as from your family, parents, guardians, and whomever it is, go with college, get a good job, find whatever your career passion is, and then go ahead and pursue it. And so for a lot of us, end up graduating for college. And then the next step was, at this point, we're probably about 21, 22, 23. Okay, I'm either going to find me a good entry-level job, or I'm going to go for my master's, or I'm going to go to graduate level. So we are pursuing this, men and women. That's probably another 2 or 3 years, graduate. Now let's find a job that's going to fit this degree. And so for us, I would say, like, again, Midwest, Detroit, Chicago, Cleveland, that area, you really didn't start seeing people like pursuing, or at least getting married, having families, maybe till around 30 was early, maybe around 35, getting into 40. Fast forward, I come down to Columbia, 28. Working at Fort Jackson. And it's like, wow, you came down here? Well, you working at Fort Jackson. Is your husband in the military? No, ma'am. No, sir. I came down for the job. Really? Well, it's a lot of men to afford that you'll be able to meet and marry soon. It's like, okay. Or what I even saw was folks my age, again, at 28, had already been married a decade. Like they had got straight out of high school, married to college or high school sweetheart. I mean, got 10, 11, 12 years in. And so to me, it was like coming down here. Now, I even had to question myself for a minute, like, man, am I really, on some different type of plan? But even regionally, I saw it was more so focus on your career, education, things that you want to do, then pursue that family life. As opposed to down here, it was like, make that the priority first, and then you start, looking for everything else. So I don't know if that's the take that you all would have, being that I think most of you all are from like the South.
Oh, you on to something? You on to something? I mean, being from the South, most of the life, it's usually about 19, 20. They expect you to get married. Of course, I went to college too. I had a different game plan. I graduate 21. Maybe get married at 25. Probably had the first child about a year after that. Then second round 28. But I mean, the club got in the way a little bit. Some folks go to ISIS therapy for therapy. I went to the club every time I had a bad time. I mean, mixed results. But anyway, because when you're a dude down south, you about 28, 30 years old, and you're not married, and females look at you and you look like halfway decent looking, oh, you ain't married?
Question marks.
Yo, well, yeah, what's wrong with you?
What's wrong with you, brother?
Well, not a lot. I'm actually feeling great. You weren't twerking, were you? Hey.
Come on, Sheikhwa. Come on, don't do that to him.
Let's not ask personal questions.
You know what I'm saying? What up, Kwanzaa?
But Ice is right, man.
For myself and say no, I was not twerking. Yo, that emphatically.
Come on, man.
But for real though, like
alive.
Yeah, but Marifa will tell you, man, like coming from Charleston, if you stayed back home, more than likely, a bunch of my partners, they were married right out of high school. Yeah. And that might have not lasted very long.
Facts.
But yeah, you about 20, 21, 22, you got married. And in fact, I remember getting out of school, a bunch of my friends, I was in weddings like out of school. That first 3 years, I was in 7 weddings. Because it seemed like what's the fashionable thing to do. Oh, we're out of school now, we got a degrees, let's get married. And I was still on a different plan at that time, but down south, yes. That's
interesting because I feel like people in our generation right now are purposely may be a strong word, but are eyes wide open about not necessarily rushing into marriage. You know what I mean?
I don't even think they want to get married, B.
Yeah. And I'm not really begrudging that at all. I mean, I understand that rationale.
Yeah.
I also understand the other side where it's like stability, nation building, all those things, and those things being on the marriage line. But, for me, I think that the way that we think about marriage, the way, like, even for our generation, like I keep on going back to the generational thing because I think it's so pivotal and so important. But I feel like our generation were like the first real generation to have our parents divorced at a high, like a high rate. You know what I mean? Like 80s kids, all of our parents basically got divorced. So our vision of what love and relationships and marriage and communication and all those things are very nuanced, more so than any other decade, I think. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I think that's a lot to do with kind of how we view things. Some people bucked the system and kind of wanted to make things better, kind of relive and rehash what their parents did. So they rushed into marriage. And then some people say, you know what, fuck that. I seen what went on. Them shits don't work. And I'm not going to do it.
There was a lot of, I think that high divorce rate from the generation that we viewed, our parents, I think that really tainted our view on marriage big time. Like we already, were kind of raised from a man's side, play the field, get as many women as you can, blah, blah, blah. Don't settle down. Keep your bachelor ways kind of flowing. Or you went the other way, like Chris was saying, get married right off gate, 22, 23. There was really no in between. It was just you playing them or you marrying them. One of the two. I mean, there was no real, you know what I'm saying? But I think we were really scarred by the relationships that our parents had and those things is not working out. And now our generation, in my opinion, just don't want to be married. Now, if anyone want to, challenge that, I'm not holding so strong to it. Anyone in the comments want to get on that, but it just seems to me marriage has a bad stigma attached to it. As if the institution is just not worth it.
Yeah.
And that, or it's an alternative type situation when you're going back to things like polygamy and open relationships and, you're seeing public relationships just kind of not working, et cetera, et cetera. So I think men also, because the stigma is that we usually have an issue, or what am I trying to word it here? I'm trying to say that if it doesn't work, we tend to take the L. We're up on the alimony payments. We're paying child support. Like we don't get the custody. We don't, you know what I'm saying? And then I saw me the other day, and I'm ready to start controversy. We can do that. I'm hyped. Listen, there was a woman saying this. She said men don't really need women like that. like I think what'd you say? Something like we're the catch or something like that. Because she was like, listen, men can cook, men can clean, men can. I'm saying she was speaking to those traditional women roles, and it was like, listen, men can already do that. So what are you? So we can start the conversation a little bit, throw that out there. I'm cool. I can bob and weave if y'all want to throw jabs back.
What's the angle? What was the angle that was being made by the meme?
She was saying that men are the catch.
Okay.
Because we can do the things that women can do. So in tradition, they're saying women clean, women cook, that kind of low grade, degrading type stuff. But they're saying we can already do that. So what's the benefit is what they were trying.
That's crazy.
This was a woman saying this now, not me. But listen, I'll stand on that hill for the sake of the controversy. Crucify me. Let's work.
I mean, I don't want to keep on like jumping the gun. Everybody can speak, obviously, but for me, I'll say first and foremost, skill sets are attractive, and I think that there's a certain level of skill set that should be fundamental to human existence. Again, going back to generation, I was a latchkey kid. I came home at 7 years old with a key around my neck, having to cook, clean up, and do all that shit. You know what I'm saying? And I know that many of us were. So I think man or woman coming from our generation, the chances are we are more prone to be able to wash clothes, do the more domestic things, which is a positive. I think it was horrible that we got it in the way that we got it, because the way we got it was capitalism and love relationships that like decimating our relationships, but we got it. So moving those kind of things aside, to me, there's no real there are gender roles, but I don't think those gender roles are the basic household duty things. I think they're a little bit more nuanced than that.
Like what, V? What are gender roles?
Okay, so look at him trying to pull me in the water. You trying to pull me?
What are gender roles? Let's go.
But I'm not scared to go.
What should a woman be doing? She should be in the kitchen, right?
So
no.
So
America's so degrading. Go ahead.
A woman would be being a wife and a mother if she chooses to be, and a man would be being a husband and a father if they so choose to be. You know what I mean? There are certain aspects of, I believe, each individual gender. Now, there's going to be nuance. Obviously, there's going to be times where one takes on the other's role. But at the end of the day, I can only speak for my situation. Okay. And my energy that I bring to the table. I am someone who is naturally a provider, somebody who naturally, is a protector or preparer. And in my mind, that is what I'm supposed to be doing. I'm supposed to be the 3 Ps: protection, providing, and preparing.
All right, Steve Harvey. That's what he say.
Really? Is it really? I don't want to say that.
No, he said he does. Don't think he says the 3 Ps: the protect, provide, and.
But we couldn't align him with somebody else besides Steve Harvey.
Hey.
No, I remember Steve Harvey saying the 3 Ps, but I think he's on the right path. I really do think guys would be really surprised to think that a lot of women are into the gender roles. Now you hear those who say like, it really shouldn't matter and blah, blah, blah. But no, there's something about women wanting to come home and actually be the nurturer and take care of the house. While they're still doing other things as well. But I think there's a lot who are really for the traditional roles that we have.
She's right. Yeah. She's right. And get that 4th P, man. Put it down, bro. Put it down.
I also know that
we got a credit with a better
kinds of being as well. So I definitely don't want to be someone who's like heavy-handed with that shit, because everybody's situation is different. Like if I had a situation, like for me, I'm, my wife and I, we both work. I think we naturally fall into what we do best. But if, for instance, if I were to have a wife who made double what I made, I would be very comfortable. You know what I'm saying? If and if I needed to take up some of the slack, another quote unquote slack, but I really mean I were able to handle some of the other responsibilities that were traditionally a woman's quote unquote role, I would do those things willingly, because at the end of the day, that shit is about teamwork and partnership, and it's about skill sets. Whatever skills a certain task needs in order for the shit to be handled, whoever does that shit best, if it takes one person to do it, then you do that, no matter what the fuck it is. You know what I mean?
Oh man, I can't hold up. I can't let you go out like that, Troy. Somebody said, man, Derek Jackson say shit like that too. Nah.
I'm not
at all. Who's Derek Jackson? That's that dude with the
that's the one guy from Instagram. He is the one who I think, he had the young lady, his wife had the little do-rag on.
Oh,
she was trying to defend him.
The faker of the year.
Come on, man.
But I am gonna have a question, not about Derek Jackson, but I will have one for Kevin Samuel.
Kevin Samuels.
This is the one who, and I honestly say I haven't seen his video, but this is the one where he does the rating, like, from a scale of 1 to 10. Are you like the Beyonce, the Rihanna? Or these are when the young ladies call in, they're trying to get the advice, and he's telling them like you can't get a high value man because you either have X number of kids. That man.
Yeah. If
he
people
calls himself,
there ain't no way I'm spending time on Kevin Samuels.
No, but this is the question that I have. Oh,
I'm just saying. Oh, go ahead. You have a question? Okay, I was going.
No, but it's in regards to, I think one of the things that he talks about. I'm seeing it from what is being posted. So I think one of the things he says is like, if you are, let's say, of a certain age, so like 40, 41, which is the category that I fall in. Never been married, no children. The reality of you getting a quote unquote high value man is going to be low because the men, these high value men, 6 figures plus, in shape, looking well, doing good, they're going to gravitate towards a much younger woman because the idea that she can like actually have start a family as opposed to there being like fertility issues and things of that nature. Now, granted, I think some of the people who call in just kind of do it just for like,
right,
trying to stir up some type of controversy, but how do you all feel or think about that concept? Because there's quite a few of us who are in that position, and I don't think he's necessarily wrong when some men feel that way. Why would I get someone who's 40, 45, no children, when I could get someone who's younger and start this family?
Well, he's not, but the only thing that he's really doing is he's playing numbers. He's playing demographics. And so, I mean, that's the same thing that marketers do all day long for their job. They just, all right, yeah, exactly. What are you going to gravitate to? So if I've got this gentleman who is in this subcategory, he's more than likely going to align with this. At the same time, it's not a science. It's the same thing the dudes who make commercials. Who's more likely to like this? So he's just a marketer. He's a marketing consultant.
Yeah, and listen, Kevin Samuel. What a listen.
Go ahead, bro.
This dude, I'll say he'll take some things that are prevalent within this culture, meaning Western culture puts a high value on material things, money, possessions, all that stuff. So this idea that if you have those things, you're high value is gonna make sense to people if you're Western cultured. I mean, that's just what's gonna. You're like, yeah, because in this world, money gets you access to stuff. You get better healthcare, you get a better house, you get a better, so-called better car. You get all this stuff because of money. So high value is attached to money, not character, right? Not passion, commitment, not the intangibles, the things that really matter, not how well you love, your name of the community. You know what I'm saying? None of those things, just the material. All right. So the idea that they want someone younger who can start a family, maybe that's partially true for the Western man. He has some money. He now wants to start a family. He now wants to go for the young woman who's in a what? When he says younger, what's he talking about? 30s, 31,
I'm thinking maybe like late 20s.
Yeah,
late
late
30s possibly.
All right. So maybe some men want to do that, which would make sense to me in this type of cultural setup. That would make sense. Doesn't mean it's like, what's the word? That it's like the right thing. You know what I'm saying? It's just something that happens in the culture. It's the way it's structured.
It's reaction.
I don't call men who have a lot of stuff, I wouldn't describe it as high value. Value is going to start with character. That's just, I'm coming from an Afrocentric point of view. You know what I'm saying? A person is a person because of people. Your relationship with people is what's going to matter, right? That's the only way we can measure what type of character you have. Do you have integrity? Do you treat people right? You know what I'm saying? Like, I know one trick any lady or man can do, find out what a person says they love. Then examine that relationship between what they say they love and how they really act, how they correspond with that. If this man says, I love my mom more than anything else, examine how many times he talks to his mother, how he treats his mother, right? Because he's calling that high value love. So if he says he loves you, you about to find out what he means. That's the same way he treats her, good or bad, when he says he loves her, that's how he's going to treat you, more than likely, right?
Say word.
So there's just more to it than just material possessions, but is what he's saying true for the Western man, as I repeat? Probably. He wants the, you know what I'm saying? But the woman who's 40, 41, 38, 39, 42, 43, with the high character, she's on point with her stuff, she's going to attract a different type of man.
Absolutely.
You know what I'm saying? A man still who has the ability to provide, who has the character, she'll still attract that. So, and you don't want the man who just wants, the body.
Yeah, say it, bro.
He wants the body.
Say that, bro.
You don't even want that dude. He ain't high caliber. He whitewashed, and that's all I'll say on that. Get in there.
We in a time span where, he's, I would imagine, close to 50 years old, and I think that there's a huge difference, even like the 5-7 year gap between a 50-year-old and a 42, 43-year-old. I think that things are speeding and moving so fast. You add in things like technology, dating patterns having changed on the basis of social media. All these things have created new environments and, frankly, new people who are inputs into this thing. So the same rules and laws and even words like traditional even are being turned on their head because things can drastically change with whole swaths of people within a good 10-year time frame. So what would be traditional, for someone who was born in 1975 is totally different from someone who was born in 1990 or 1995. So I think that's something as well. I think his prescriptions on those things apply to a very regimented, finite segment of the population.
Right. And it's what's the word for, help me describe what he does. Like, he really kind of sensationalizes it, really makes it dramatic. I can't think of the word, but there's another person who does stuff like this. What was his name? Tommy Sotomayor, whatever his name is.
I can't stand that guy.
Real wild.
I think sensationalism is about accurate.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Man. It's entertaining. He's corny.
An entertainer.
You know what I'm saying? He's an entertainer. I never spend any time acknowledging anything he talks about, what he does. He goofy to me. I don't even that type of energy. I don't even deal with that. It tends to degrade.
But I will say you will be 3 different type of men who can, I think, identify that. I think there are quite a few out there who want to hear what he's saying. It will co-sign it, and then we'll actually put that in action. So I mean, I think you all are a little bit different. There's going to be some out there that's like, no, he's right on point.
Yeah, I mean, if people think he on point, I get it. People are structured a certain way in this culture, so that probably resonates with them. That type of sensationalism and the drama and all that.
Yeah, there are also, I'm definitely not doing tit for tat, but just to kind of give a more well-rounded approach to this conversation, there's definitely women who are in the social media landscape who are like the female versions of these guys as well. So the well is being poisoned from like all sides, you know what I'm saying? Man. And even if, I would argue that there's probably people who agree with him or her. Yep. There's also people who don't agree necessarily, but just like to watch it because they may be bored and it's exciting. Right. But then the same thing I try to tell my kids is that if you watch something for too long, you're basically inviting that person into your life. So we have it's crazy. We have TVs, right? And where our goal is to buy the biggest and brightest and more realistic TV so that it can feel more real to us, so that the propaganda and the things that are being sold to us are more effective. It's like a crazy, crazy loop. So I think the same thing exists with like the things that we watch on YouTube. We may find something funny, we may find something entertaining, even if we don't necessarily agree with it. But if we continue to keep diving down these rabbit holes, it's going to be like the echo chamber that keeps on going. And before you know it, your values, the things that you held near and dear to your heart, the things that how you would normally comport yourself in a relationship even, can be drastically shifted. Like the human psyche is, I would argue, very fragile. And all it takes is repetition and for you to be engaged in a certain way. And before you know it, you acting like you're not supposed to be acting. You're saying shit that you're not supposed to be saying. And, you're attracting, at the end of the day, what you're not supposed to be attracting. You know what I'm saying?
And I would say that him and others like him capitalize on the ills of our people, right? We've been conditioned a certain way. Black people have several struggles that we go through, and he just capitalizes on that. Brings it to the forefront, puts our flaws on display. And I don't like people who do that. I don't participate in people who use our flaws and our ills and our sicknesses in our society with Black people, our issues, and then puts that as an entertaining, try to get jokes off on us. It's cooning to me. That's how I am. Yeah.
Well, we got a whole bunch of shows that follow that same format. So
exactly. See, I don't like all that. And of course, people call it truth. You know what I'm saying? They see our issues, they see our problems. He speaks to those issues and problems in a certain way, and then people call that the truth. Man, get out of here, man. That's not truth to me, right? You know what I'm saying? You're more exploitive. You know what I'm saying? I call it cooning again. That's you're serving a different purpose. So, Malcolm, how you gonna get on here, right? Oh, okay, because I was about to get you. I was about to get you. Come on here, you gonna turn this video off and all that. What we doing?
What's up?
My bad.
What's going on, brother?
What's going on? How y'all doing? What's going on?
What's going on, bro? Malcolm Rose Jr. What's up, brother?
Nothing much. Nothing much.
You know what I'm saying? How are you good? Your health is good. You feeling good? What's the word?
Feeling good. No complaints this way health wise. But
okay.
I did go to the website and looked up the men tonic.
There we go. My brother.
So
see?
It's in the cart. It's in the cart. So it's
That's it.
It's on.
That's it. Time to get right. That's all. That's all. Yeah, we're just mixing it up a little bit, talking about some relationship issues. Kevin,
I heard I heard the clown talk about
people really mix with that dude sometimes too, man. They really. I don't even give it no attention, man. No energy whatsoever. I just keep it. I think I
gotta hurry. You gotta watch your diet. You gotta watch what you intake.
That's it. That's it. And be careful what you call truth, man. Like our flaws ain't truth. I mean, yeah, it's factual. You know what I'm saying? There's some stuff to it, but don't use that as, I just don't like it. I don't like it. Goofy stuff. But so we were talking about, Malcolm, how Tamara, she's just too busy. You know what I'm saying? She's been busy for 15 years now.
How you go from 10 to 15?
She's been busy for like 17, 18 years. And really, she ain't got no time. Nah, what really happened was she was hollering at this dude 3 times a week. My man said, I don't see you enough. And it's like
that's probably true. I will admit that.
How you see someone 3 times a week and you say you ain't seen them enough? That's wild to me. But I have a
question for you, Tamara. Then, so in that situation, and stop us if we're prying too much, please. We definitely don't want to pry at all. You know what I mean?
I'm on pry.
Marifa's hilarious. I was going to ask you something. I forgot what I was going to ask you.
Let me think.
It'll come back to me.
Right. It'll come back. Oh man, I was ready to capitalize on what you were gonna say, troll a little bit. You know what I'm saying?
Ain't no trolling.
Oh yeah. So the way I view, life is long, obviously. So if we are taking care of our health, plus the fact that we live in a world where technology is quote unquote increasing, so the opportunity to quote unquote stay alive is going to be longer. I think that everybody here, if we can make it to like 60, we're going to probably make it to like 100. You know what I'm saying? So with that being said, is opportunities to be in multiple relationships. People can be married 2 or 3 times for 20 years apiece. You know what I mean?
True.
That's real. That's real.
It is real. That's why I'm laughing.
Yeah.
Yo, man, that's up. That's dope.
Like you can start at 40 and be married 3 times at 20 clips apiece and be 100. So on the basis of that, the question then is, what are your take on, let's say, a man who is your age, but may have gotten divorced, may have had kids, but they're still stable and they're the correct kind of man for you? Like, what is that? How does that play into your expectations?
I actually have no problem with that. I think what I've experienced more is guys my age or a little bit older aren't ready to restart a family.
Mm-hmm.
So, I think it will be, and I think that is very interesting. I hear it sometimes where some men aren't quite, wanting to be the father to other men's children. I've heard that. But in my case, having no children, it's like, okay, here it is where, early mid 40s, I already have kids. I don't know if I necessarily want to start over.
Right.
Or start again, which I completely understand, but that's more so of what I would run into.
Right.
And that becomes problematic if that's something I would want, which I kind of go back and forth. But, if I was to meet someone and we really do hit it off, then he either has children or don't, but he doesn't want it, where it's like, okay, I can't keep entertaining people who don't want children if that's something that I want.
Mm-hmm.
Right,
And then I have to have that honest conversation of, is that something I'm willing to go at alone, which I feel is, kind of selfish to the child, because I don't necessarily want to bring them into a situation where they don't have 2 parents, not that the guy won't be there, but, it's a hard situation to kind of like navigate. Right. But that's more so what I deal with gentlemen my age who may not want to start over again.
I can see that all day, man. Yo, hitting that reset button in your mid 40s to get that kid again.
Yeah, I mean, that's like, I can't fault them for being, feeling that way.
Yo, it's like Troy be saying, man, when he comes on, man, he be like, man, navigating through life. Man, look, I don't care if you're from Detroit, Charleston, or wherever. The hardest hood I've ever been through is fatherhood. Then I mean,
because if you think about it, like a lot of guys my age, they are not necessarily having children that like are in, like toddlers. No, they have like teenagers. Absolutely. They have 20-year-olds. So we're talking about having this decades gap in between children. Yeah, that's a lot to ask somebody.
Man, you know how hard it is to chase after a child with 45-year-old niece.
Hey yo. Hey, real quick, let me bring in Don Thomas in the conversation. Don Thomas, what's the word, family?
Peace and blessings. It seems as though I've joined this conversation at the right time.
At the right time. That's right. That's right.
You feel me? I want to apologize in advance for my tardiness. I had a whole bunch of stuff going on over here, but and I want to make sure that I don't Teddy Riley on y'all, because I feel like this conversation is so pertinent.
Right.
So peace and blessings. Don Thomas, man, it's good. Always good to be on the Yip Yap. That's for doggo sure. But I'll say this before I get to breaking up and all that. I'm 40 years old as of February 4th, 2021. And me and my wife are expecting our 4th child.
Hey, congratulations.
Peace and blessings. And I'll say this, like in a week and a half, right? So we on that young you dig. And I will say this. If we have and then I'll say to the point, just putting this out there into the space, I think it's going to add some outstanding context to what we're talking about here. Is the fact that my oldest, so this is our 4th, my oldest is finishing up her last semester. Okay. If I didn't break up, finishing up her last semester at Hampton University, right? Then I got a 9th grader and an 8th grader. So it's interesting to my man C. Howard, peace and blessings. Essentially, good brother, I'm gonna be on some 45-year-old knees. You dig what I'm saying? Out here with a toddler, bro. You know what I mean? But God is good though, for real.
Absolutely. Yeah. Sacred roots, bro. Sacred roots. Get you some herbs. Get you some energy.
Sea moss.
You already know. Sea moss, the whole 9, baby. The whole 9.
Little something. I'm gonna be real. I'm gonna be honest. The reset button is my son's. Shout out to Daniel. He a junior in college. Shout out to UNCG. Y'all still got to call me back too. But I mean, starting over is deep. I'm not gonna lie to you. That's deep. I do think about if I were to have a child right now, age 43, still strong, baby, Mentonic. Shout out to Sacred Roots, and the herbs. You know what I'm saying? Sea moss, burdock root, bladder rack. We here. Anyway, I think about, he'll be 10 years old and I'm 53. 5'3", you know what I'm saying?
Not jumping back to Kevin Samuels about the foolishness that he talks about, but that one piece that he alludes to men of a certain age looking for younger women for that particular reason. Right. So when you have a generation like myself of some, like I said, who have been kind of going the route of education, building their careers just for the true passion of it, nothing else. And then we've waited later, and now it's like, well, we didn't quite just decide to have children this late. It just kind of worked its way out. It worked its way in this situation. And so if this is something that we want, I honestly don't think there's a lot of men who are going to want to sign up for it. Again, completely understandable. But I think that's what we find a lot of ourselves are in.
But wait, T, I got friends who have 1-year-olds, 2-year-olds. Don just said a week and a half from today,
are they
brand new blessings coming through.
Are they in marriages or are they single mothers?
What do you mean? I know both.
Okay.
I know both.
No, that's what I was asking. You said they have 1-year-olds. I'm wondering, are they in relationships? Are they married or are they single mothers?
Got you.
Oh, talking about are the mothers who are having
the mother, yeah. So the 1-year-olds are there.
Good question.
Are these were men that you were talking about or women?
These were men.
Okay.
I thought you meant men who are willing to have children while they're still in their 40s. You see what I'm saying?
Okay.
Because the issue for some men is I'm already past a certain age. I don't want to hit the reset button. So I'm just simply saying there are men out here willing to hit the reset button.
Was it planned? I'm just asking.
Yeah, some are. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Some are. And what I'm trying to push to, and I'm gonna get there, no matter the resistance and the obstacles, I'm gonna get to my point. My point is, there's a man out there who'll be willing.
No question.
No doubt. No
doubt. I didn't say.
Especially you.
No doubt.
Of course.
There it is.
Yeah.
No doubt. No doubt.
That's all. But listen, the said woman can't be so busy. I'm just talking. Right?
Yeah.
You can't be so busy that the transaction, the things that need to happen, can't come to fruition. You understand what I'm saying?
That ain't the problem.
About that is that like all of this information and all this is a great dialogue, obviously, but it all fits into the landscape of the economic system that we're in. And the time that we're in economically, and the fact that inflation and cost of goods is ever increasingly going up. You know what I mean? Like, I think like this year, I seen a report that basically said if you didn't get a 5.4% raise this year, then you're losing money.
You lost money
because the cost of goods and services have gone up by around 5.4% this year alone. And it's been going up. The power of the dollar is increasingly getting lower and lower. And one key quote unquote benefit of pair bonding is the economic perspective. If you can get two people under the same roof working in a halfway logical way, a full-way logical would be doing all the things that we can discuss later. But even on a basic level of splitting bills and then using some of the money that you have freed up to invest in, there can be huge advantages to pair bonding. And I think that especially for like Black people who have been so thoroughly oppressed economically, put into a system that's further expediting our depression, and in COVID where people are losing jobs or there's like so much going on, that it makes the prospect of dating and what dating means and what value means. It turns the shit crazy, It's crazy.
Word. Listen, I got Brandy in the comments going off in the comments. Brandy, I been sent you the link to join us on this platform. I been sent you the link. Come up here and let's talk. You asking all these questions in the comments. Let's go, Brandon. You know I ain't scared of you. Let's go. Pull up. Pull up. I'm feeling good today too. I'm herbed up. You know what I'm saying?
Oh yeah. Hey man, shout
out to the, he a sponsor now. Shout out to our sponsor.
Pay you some money right now.
He's definitely a sponsor at this point. I didn't heard the plugs for the whole hour and 10 minutes. So
you know what I'm saying?
I need to make for real though. I need to know what y'all talking about so I can go ahead and stock up. So let me know what's good.
no, brother, you don't need no more of that.
It's called Men Tonic.
Men Tonic, bro. Men Tonic.
All right.
That's all we saying.
Nah, he gonna need some. He gonna need some.
Yeah. Let me plug my brand new blender. Yeah. I bought the new, I don't know what it's called, E10 300, whatever, E300 10 model.
Whatever it is, it's fancy already.
$300 something. You know what I'm saying? I go downstairs, put the smoothie, the fruits, the bananas, the baobab fruit powder, the camel, the Men Tonic dates, a whole apple, blueberries. That thing starts mixing. Listen, let me tell you something. Woo! You understand? I'm feeling good.
Yeah,
that's all I'm telling you,
man.
Shout out to our sponsor.
Hold up, man. I got to get back to something, brother. Don Thomas. Peace. So you was almost out the game and you went back in.
Hey, listen. So the way good brother.
Careful, your wife is watching. Careful.
Yeah, no doubt about it. Hey, whom I love dearly. Shout out to Monica Thomas. Peace and blessings. I love.
That's right.
So essentially what they say, brother, is that I had one almost out the forest. And everybody was on their way out the forest, and I turned back around. They say, no, we're gonna put one more back inside the forest, and we're gonna make it do what it is. So, it is what it is, man. Hey, listen, I'm gonna tell you this right here, bro. God is good, man. It's for a reason.
That's right. That's right.
It is what it is.
I turned back around. Brandy, you gotta turn that.
A layer Simone, by the way.
Brandy, do you have headphones you could put on so we don't
turn your live off, Brandy?
What it is, man. Hey.
How Brandy come up with the Teddy Riley problems, the echo? What's she doing, man?
Hey, no. You have to turn your phone on. If you're on your computer, you gotta turn your phone on. She cannot hear us.
Wait,
she geeking out.
See, look at that. You're not prepared, young sister. Proper preparation, something.
Success.
Look at it. You know we were gonna get you if you're gonna come up here and you ain't prepared. You understand? See? How you gonna catch the brother if you're not ready to receive the brother? I'm talking today. I'm talking today. How you gonna be prepared, my sister?
Marifa Samuels.
Where's Dr. Umar? Hey, didn't Umar marry 2 women?
Make it make sense.
Really?
Make it make sense.
Brandy, are you on mute? You're on mute. I unmuted you. You gotta unmute.
I muted me because I wasn't sure if it was.
You sound good now. Yeah, you sound good.
Because everybody check up. First of all, ain't nobody asked to be up here. So how you fussing at me? Because I'm just honoring your request, but I didn't have proper instructions. You better.
Oh, they have to. Okay.
But peace and love, everybody. Love and life.
What's up, B?
Hey, Malcolm. I miss you. I miss you.
We ain't even got a chance to talk about your Ghana trip or nothing like that.
Oh, let's get into it. Okay, let's talk about Ghana and how the men were. Sis, is it
Tamara,
how that be? Listen, sis, have you been there?
I have not been to Ghana.
Okay, because you can go over there and get you a husband because these American men, I love y'all.
Oh, here we go.
I'm just saying. I'm cute as I am here as I am over there, and they were trying to propose, and everybody don't want no green card, so it's not even all about that. To just be clear and honest. Some people would let you be right in the village, ain't trying to see America, none of these white people over here, okay? So we ain't gonna make it about no papers. I'm telling y'all, this Western civilization and these Western whatever these men folk want over here on in this side of the Atlantic. Oh, the trip was beautiful. I'm trying to get back. I was supposed to leave yesterday. I was crying because I couldn't go back anyway. But as far as relationships go, I would like to add, like,
Well, wait a minute. Didn't you have a brother who was interested?
I had two brothers who were interested, but the one who was like, the tallest one, because the requirements are tall and black with a strong back. Just the most shallow of the requirements. Okay, so the 6-something one who had plenty money, he spent many years in the UK. Okay, so like that's problematic. I'm learning like the westernized mindset is the downfall. Yeah, so if I'm gonna be with a Ghana brother, we're gonna have to be in the village. All the ones who lust after America and think it's the land of honey, or the UK or Europe, any of these white nations, all the brothers who like are chasing the dollar and the euro, all the brothers who like it over here, it's not gonna work for me. So yeah, that one.
Randy, can I ask what's your age range? I'm just curious.
My age range for the men I'm interested in.
No, yours.
I'm 34 years old, 34 and a half next month.
No doubt.
Yeah.
No doubt. Congratulations.
So like the older bigger agencies, and about the men, it's like I'm learning. Like there's a Jamaican man, because I just love, wherever the accent and the look,
Shout out to my home country.
Yeah, man.
I'm from Jamaica, Queens.
It's the old man. Don't call him out and embarrass him. But he's in his 50s now. And my daddy, he just died in January. He was 78. I'm number 7 of many. I'm number 7. I'm the baby.
Condolences.
So it's all right. We good. Thank you. But so like I'm comfortable with dating older men. None of them are old enough to be my daddy. My daddy old as hell. So it ain't like it wasn't that weird thing unless they had children.
What's older? 50s?
I was cool with them. So it depends on if you got your bladder rack and whatnot. If you if you got your hairline.
She said strong back. She said strong back.
Yeah, strong back. Tall and black with a strong back and don't got no daughters my age. Because that feels like problematic.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm saying.
Pedo territory, yeah.
So let's talk about this.
Go ahead, Troy.
Okay, so we discussed the idea that there's a westernized man, but there's also westernized women. Absolutely. And what we're really saying is not necessarily westernized, we're saying colonized, because this beast colonized the entire planet, right?
That's correct.
That's the first thing. Secondly, I would say that the same way that like you feel like that men have certain nuances to what we want, and it's not real. It sounds like you're saying that most of us men here in this country, black men, are not realistic, and the things that we want and desire may not line up with what a queen like you would want, right? Is that true?
In part, yes.
Okay,
that's
cool.
What I'm saying.
So my follow-up would be,
why y'all laughing?
Because they know where I'm kind of going with this.
I love y'all. Go ahead.
So I want you to just like tell us if you had to like take your eyes out and look at yourself. And then I'm not dissing. I'm just asking questions.
I'm here for it.
I'm asking questions.
What would I say is wrong with me?
No, not wrong. There's nothing wrong with you. You're great.
Needs improvement?
No, not that either. Not that either. What I'm saying is like, what are some of the ways in which you would deem yourself as colonized? Since we're both here, and since we want to make sure that we are all finding ways to improve for each other.
In which ways have I been colonized?
Yeah.
No. I gotta come back with the list next Thursday, I guess. I've been colonized. Okay, so I have been. I don't know if I can include this, but I think maybe it's related to colonization. I have been convinced that the black man ain't about to do is not capable of protecting. So you could say I was just in there watching y'all get lynched and me get raped or whatever. I just ain't got no proof in the pudding that y'all can provide, hold it down, stay home, protect, defend. Because I haven't seen that consistently in my own life or in my immediate. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
Yeah, that's one thing. Yeah. I've been, I don't know, because a lot I've done. I mean, I was a student of Marifa's. I went to Howard for a little bit. My daddy was a Black Panther, might as well say. So, like, I ain't been just like lost in the sauce for too long. And I've learned enough to unlearn the things that have been taught, the miseducation of colonization. So I don't have no long list that Hopefully, I think not like you know what I'm saying. I ain't involved in
Brandy.
But
this is a question that I want to follow up on that question if I could.
Okay.
Because the way I interpreted that question, I'm gonna make sure I ain't freezing up. Make sure y'all can still hear me.
You're good.
The way I interpreted that question was that he asked, "How have you been impacted, or how have you been colonized?" Right? I think was that the question, V.
Mm-hmm.
And then that question, to me, it would seem like being colonized is a false way of interpreting the world, right? So if one has been colonized, one has a false understanding, a lens that has been imposed upon by which they see the world. And so when you say that black men don't provide, they can't protect, they can't hold it down, is that a false lens based on how you've been impacted by colonization?
No. To me, that has been a real lens of
like an experience you have.
Yes, actual lens. But I think that is the reality that I've seen often or most consistently because of systems of oppression and current colonization. So like, no, I haven't made it up. I know there are black men in America who take care of their families, but I also know there are systems in place that make it hard for a brother to get money or to get a job with his locks or to get this or that, this and the third. You know, starting from third grade, school to prison pipeline. So, like, I know they locked up. A lot of them are locked up. A lot of them have records, or some are gay, or some are whatever. Like, it's real shit in place, and that is making it hard.
Yeah, that's real.
Yeah, to make what I see real. Like, you know, then I know there's you, but then also no shade. There's like a lot of men. Okay, this is what I see for sis. A lot of the things, and I'm probably jumping around, but I missed.
No, you good. No, you good. You good.
So like, there will be. I'm LGBT. I love y'all. I'm probably the B in the LGBT, but whatever, because I be having girl crushes sometimes. But anyway, like they're either gay and they don't want to procreate with us, and God bless them, but that's what that is. Or they're locked up. Or like this brother, like I was having car trouble with my '89 Volvo the other day, and he's a tow truck driver. Pulled up, was like, "Oh, baby girl, you good?" And I was like, "Oh, I need help." He diagnosed the situation. I'm like, I really need, like, do you know anyone who fixes it? Who can fix it? I got to take my mom to dialysis in the morning. He like, I'll be there tonight. I didn't think he was for real. The car broke down like 5 something. He was outside at 8 something. It was dark.
Beautiful.
Yeah, some crackhead fixed my car. Thank God. He a dope boy. He also has 6 children. But I like didn't believe he was coming. And I told him, like, he called and I was like, yeah. He said, "What are you doing?" I'm like, hoping my car can get fixed. He said, "Look out the window." He was there, like a stranger black man.
Nice.
But then you got 6 kids and how many ever baby mamas, and then you got a felony record, so can't pick you. You know, but it's like I was like, didn't believe he was coming because black men don't come when black women need. That has been my experience. You know what I'm saying? Like, not that no black man has never come. That ain't it. Not like I ain't got no uncles or no brothers or in the village, but like I was so blown away that he came. You know what I'm saying? So like, if the requirement is that you keep your word, which is 1, he ain't tall. If the requirement is that you don't have like a whole lot of kids with multiple baby mamas, then like you missed the, you know what I'm saying? But like the one that pulled up. So it's like, because of all these things in place, because of people have all these, he got all these kids. Do you want more kids? If I want to have baby number 7, probably not, because you done picked a whole bunch of baby mamas and you done had a whole bunch of trauma with the parenthood and you don't want to start over. Like, who do we pick? Where are the men? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
I got some brothers in the cadre that I can provide that's also looking, that will have a similar on the other side kind of conversation and mindset around, man, where can I find me a good sister at? That's
okay, because I've been asking since 1999. Please. I mean, I go to the therapy and the yoga and the everything and the counseling and whatever.
Brandon, you in Charlotte now?
I am.
Oh, snap. So see?
It's right before Ghana. Like, I moved to daddy's old house and then I Got on the plane. I've been here since the summer. So yeah, it's a lot of.
I appreciate your candor. I appreciate your candor.
Ladies and gentlemen,
one more piece. I said no shade, right? So they're either gay, locked up, blah blah blah, or they don't want black women. That was the no shade part.
But hold on 1 second. Hold on 1 second, everybody. Ladies and gentlemen, coming to the stage, who's joined us. The brother has made some serious decisions in his life. Someone had got engaged recently.
No, congratulations.
He was talking he was going through some things, and all of a sudden, the sun started shining. Y'all give it up for Brother Jamal and his engagement, man. Y'all give it up for him.
Congratulations.
Give it up for the brother, man. Black love. You know what I'm saying?
Black love, man. And it's black love too, Maurice. It's black love too, man.
What's the word, man? What's the word?
Hey, man, I'm good, bro. Tired, but I'm winning.
You winning. That's what I'm seeing.
That's it.
That's what I'm seeing.
Yes, sir.
He's winning. Tonic, herbs, wife.
Man, everything.
What we doing?
Everything, man.
Yeah, man. Listen, we talking about relationships right now, Jamal.
As we speak.
Moment.
As we speak.
Yeah. You know what I'm saying?
Hey, however I can chime in, let's get it.
You see what I'm saying?
I was telling Marifa that it's
just got on one knee.
I saw the pictures and
you know what I'm saying?
I gave my congratulations. Congratulations, Jamal.
Appreciate you. Appreciate you.
Shout out to the union. You know what I'm saying?
Let's go. That's beautiful. Black love.
It is. It is.
Hold on.
Let's go. What to do. Okay, yeah, Don, please send the list to me and Tamara.
Yeah.
What happened?
In the comments.
I want to say this too, and I know this is not necessarily necessary because I know that there's a lot of systemic things, but as a black man, I apologize for all black men for any shortcomings. You know what I mean? There's a lot of things obviously that are out of our control, but there's many things that are in our control that we don't believe are in our control. There's competence, but there's also confidence. And I think many of our black men lack one or the other or both. And that shows up in their relationships. You know what I'm saying? So again, I appreciate your candor, your honesty. You seem, I don't know you, but you seem cool, funny, high value, all those things.
I just love your voice. As a brother, don't feel no pressure, because child.
Yeah, no doubt.
Don't make I don't want no confusion.
And I'm just saying, again, I know people be going through things with us, and I apologize for those things.
Say, I'm trying to listen to it. They cutting up in the background.
You good.
I need to give me some wine.
Hey, listen, if this is a safe space, man. You know what I'm saying?
A safe space.
You need a little something, take the edge off, do what you do.
I don't need no edge off. I like drinking wine. I might not drinking wine in front of the people.
So
ask Jamal how he knew it was time, because
that's what I'm about to say. Jamal, tell us what a mix is, man. How did you meet her? You got some questions to answer, my brother. You know what I'm saying? You just, you went off, did your thing, comes back, you engaged all of a sudden. We got to understand what the mix is, my brother. What's going on?
The best advice I got was for a brother on this call. Brother John Thomas. Sitting around the fire. He said, man, you tripping. He said, when we was in the military, one shot, one kill. What's the one woman that you want? And immediately when he asked that question, my fiance's name came to my mind. And ever since then, I set my sights on her. I cut off everything, all the women I may have been dating and going out to eat with, stuff like that. Just passing my time. I said, you know what? One shot, one kill. And
that's cool.
Well, Don, go talk to me. Look
at Don Thomas with the coaching.
Hey, listen, because Yeah. Because I know it's some good brothers out here for real. It's a myth, and one of the things you'll hear me say a lot when I'm on whatever having conversations. I'm a very privileged man, and I'm a privileged man because I have been raised and trained by real men. The only example I've ever had. I've never had an example outside of what men are supposed to do. From grandfathers on both sides, uncles, father, going all the way down. I'm a very privileged man in that regard. So when I hear that, I'm like, nah. And I know the generational impact that it has on the cousins that are same age as me, so on and so forth. I'm like, the generational impact that it has on men living according to the standard that you just mentioned. I may not be something one, you dig what I'm saying? I'm like 5'11", though, G. I'm knocking on the door, you know what I mean? I'm knocking on the door. But
the door don't get opened up for the 5'11". Don't get it.
Yeah, you feel me? But when we're talking about being strong, principled men. That's my live reality. That's the reality that my son is being reared in. That's the reality that my nephews are being reared in. You dig what I'm saying? And so they are principled men out here that are holding the line, that understand the importance of supporting their family, of building wealth for their posterity, of loving, of nurturing, of the whole nine. Don't get it twisted. Don't get it twisted.
We can't wait for you to introduce, right, Tamara?
Yes, ma'am. But I do have a question for you all. So, like, that's the perspective, and it's great that you've been raised in. How do you reach that for your brothers who have not? Like, what is that conversation that either you're having with Jamal or you're having with others?
So,
or how do you have that conversation?
I will say this. First of all, I like to invite brothers over to the fire all day long. We'll sit back and we'll have a good time around the fire. But I will say this. From a very real scalable strategy, we should have a conversation about the NBK Vanguard. we should have a conversation around an attempt to be able to take the scale where men can be principled men. You dig what I'm saying? Where brothers can really have real conversations about their responsibility. Shout out to the comrade Adrian Sundiata. You dig what I'm saying? About cultural responsibility, where men understand who the frick they are, what their responsibility is, and they hold the line and hold each other accountable in love. You dig what I'm saying? How do we, scripture will talk about that plank. Too many times we trying to look over that plank, trying to find the little splinter in somebody else's eye. No, we want to do some self-governance, right? Some self-control. Men that are controlled. This is why when me and the comrade was sitting around the fire, I talked about that one shot, one kill, right? That one shot, one kill. Yeah, how about that? How about we change the narrative from bros around here just doing whatever? Some self-control, some self-governed men. You dig what I'm saying? In that regard. So yeah, peace and blessings. That's how I do it, sis. I get the comrades, and I expect for my comrades to hold me accountable. It is an expectation, right? That I ain't just out here saying, yo, how can Don have conversations? Iron sharpens iron. You dig what I'm saying? So when I'm talking to Brother Marifa, I'm expecting to be held accountable if I'm outside the principles and the plumb line by which we have collectively agreed upon.
I love that.
So yeah, it's all good. Yes, yeah, that's how I do that. Yeah,
I'll say that I'm on the front lines, and I still have jokes for Jamal, who's coming back for the third time.
God almighty.
We see that engagement has yet to fix the Teddy Riley effect. So you understand? We got to.
Hey, somebody get that brother a thing on a wire hanger.
There's some ball and a wire hanger out this morning.
You upgraded your life by adding the Black Queen. Now maybe we invest in some high-speed internet.
Simple.
Hey, I had to save up the body. I had to save up the Batarine, Marifa.
I understand.
Oh, man.
Now we have goals, right? We got goals.
I'm here.
But I'll answer the question. Then I'll let the brothers get in there too. The question was, how do we reach some of the brothers who didn't have the type of upbringing that Don Thomas had? I didn't have that. I know that for a fact. Shout out to people in the struggle. I recently did take a position working with the fatherhood program of Mecklenburg County. So I'm on the front lines dealing with brothers who are in the child support system. They are struggling with, job stability or payments or whatever they're dealing with, custody, visitation. And one of the things that we talk about, some of the conversations we have, is just restoring ourselves back to the men that we need to be, the men that we were prior to any of this invasion, colonization stuff that we were talking about, getting us back to those principles Don Thomas was alluding to, that Sundiata talks about with cultural responsibility. So we're having those conversations. At the same time we're having those conversations, we're connecting them with mental health resources, like with ISIS. We had a meeting today with ISIS and Harmony Health to connect fathers to getting the assistance they need on that. Also, we're helping them getting their financial situation in order. But we're just dealing with men on the front line to get them back where they need to be. And even though you might not marry your son or daughter's mother that you had children with, you do want to get married in the future. So let's get you set up, get in your right frame of mind, get you back tracking the way you need to be, so that when you build that family in the future, you're on point. The children you're going to create going forward won't even have any recollection of any type of struggle, because you, being the man, decided, you know what, it's time to get me right. Yes, sir. Right? Absolutely. It's time for me to realign myself. So shout out to the Fatherhood Program. Kelly Little is working with me on it.
Shout out to the freaking comrade Kelly Little. Man.
He's on it. He's on it. And of course, Don Thomas, when we have our drop down, we see that brothers are eligible for My Brother's Keeper. So we're definitely going to come to you next and start setting up ways where we have a support group, support unit. Speaking of that, we have a phone call every 2 weeks on Saturday from 10 to 11, just for the fathers in the program, for them to have the support that they need. Again, the whole point is to get them back on track, back where they need to be. And they see men supporting them, not bashing, badgering, and doing all that, but lifting them up. And the response has been on point. Response has been beautiful. So that's what we working on. That's what we do. That's dope. Here in these streets. Let's work.
Outstanding.
That's dope, brother.
Yeah, man.
That just got me pumped up. So brother, I think we cut Jamal off with Teddy Riley.
Teddy Riley.
When did you know, good brother, outside of the fire talk, this, that, and the other, man? Because your experience has been outstanding as it relates to relationships and that kind of thing. You got a outstanding testimony, good brother. But
yeah, fact. I think I knew, man. To be honest, our second date. I knew. Second date. We spent every day together since our second date. So people may say,
I got a pride. Where did you go?
Oh, we went to our first day. We went to Lincoln Penn. Second date was Super Rica.
Okay.
South Boulevard, South End. So that day, man, we just been. And I brought cards of questions to our first date.
Word.
I bought this question game with cards called Best Self. So it had 6 categories: life, self, relationships, education, random, and the world. So I wanted to get to know her mind from the get-go.
From the get-go.
I knew she was beautiful. Yeah, I wanted to know what was up here, though. So when we started vibing on that tip, and the vibe between me and her was different because she challenged me a little bit. And I was like, whoa, wait a minute. I know my stuff now. Hold on, but it was a healthy challenge to see a different perspective. So when I knew, man, when I could humanize her and I saw her as my partner, as a friend, and not just as a beautiful woman, that's when I knew, okay, I can do life with this person because she's beautiful, she's smart. But I can see her as a human and not as like a princess, a goddess, and all that kind of stuff. It was like, I humanized my girl to be my friend. I can still see that she's beautiful and deserves to be treated like a queen. But she felt more like a comrade, like a friend, somebody I could get in the trenches with and still work to be my best self. So that's what it was. But I definitely had to work through my trauma. I had to work through my pain of dealing with women in my past. And I had to really let down my guard and love instead of acting out of fear. I had to really act out of love and say, okay, I'm gonna trust you. Even though you work with other men, you are friends with other men, I have to be able to trust and say, hey, you're not going to hurt me. Even when you challenge me or correct me, in my mind, that means you really don't rock with me as a woman. So I would run away. But when I realized that she was saying just to make me better, the criticism, I knew that I can rock with her and I can receive it. So she's my partner and she's my person more than just my woman.
That's dope, bro. Yo, that's fire. What did she say when she discovered that you didn't have good Wi-Fi? Like, what did she say to that?
Hey,
it's on the computer. On these devices, Wi-Fi works great. I don't know what's going on.
Jamal, I would definitely add again. No one here is a guru. We just all get giving game. I want to first congratulate you again. That shit is very inspirational and dope. You know what I mean? I would also say that just I've been married for 11 years. Celebrated my 11th year marriage last month.
Congratulations.
And what I would offer is that, having trust is a beautiful thing. You know what I mean? Yeah. But, when you talk about trusting this person to not hurt you, I think that people are going to hurt you. You know what I'm saying? Right. People are going to hurt you. People are going to use you because that's what humans do. Right. The issue is abuse and misuse. You're going to get used, but that's what you want because you have things of value to give. And hopefully the person who you with has things of value to give. The key is that you don't abuse or misuse them. Last point I'll make is that when it comes to trust, personally, I wouldn't necessarily put it all in trusting the other person. You got to be able to trust yourself that no matter what happens, you're going to be good.
For sure.
You know what I'm saying? I think that that's a different space. Like, again, granted, my wife, beautiful, smart, intelligent. I have trust that she will act the way that she's acted, which is of morality and righteousness, right? But people are also very, the humans can do what humans do. She may have a moment, quote unquote, of weakness or a moment of humanity. I may have a moment of humanity, God forbid. But at the end of the day, no matter what happens, the trust needs to be in self. And if you believe in a high power, obviously a high power, but most importantly, yourself, that no matter what she does, you're going to be good. And once you walking in that, to me, that's when you're winning. And then if y'all both walking in that, then that's when y'all winning. You know what I mean?
I agree with that. I think so. That's what I mean. I had to overcome my trauma. So here's my mantra I've been reading for like the last 6 months. I can handle it no matter what. I will handle it because I'm a mighty man of God, full of power and authority, on a mission to know God and to make God known. So you're totally right, V. Yeah. Like I had to get to that point. Like no matter what happens, bro, you can handle it. People want to talk about you. Your girl does something, like you have a human moment. The job falls off, bro. You good, and you have to walk in that. People gonna criticize. People gonna hurt. But I tell myself, man, I gotta love with an open heart, even if it does hurt, because I know I'm good and I know God got me. So I totally agree with you on that. I had to get there before I even got there with her, for sure.
Respect.
Hey, I really love this conversation around the humanizing of love, man. That kind of hit me a little different right there. You know what I mean? Like for real. The humanizing of this framework is deep. I've been married for 15 years, but I'm just saying that piece right there. I've acted on that, but to hear it articulated gives it a different. That's good right there. I like.
So I actually would like to ask a question. I guess for Jamal, Don, and Troy. So kind of get into what Troy has just kind of talked about. How do you not walk away? Meaning getting back to this part of trust and some of the things I think that I've kind of experienced before. Like, I think Marifa asks, well, how is it that, you're seeing this person for so many days or, for a length of time and it kind of just fizzles out? Well, some of it is just, it could have been a lack of trust or it's just the effort wasn't put in. So how do you choose not to walk away? What was it that says, I'm going to stick this out? Even if it was some, contentious moments that were there, whether it was, infidelity, if that came up, or if it was, whatever it is, what made you say, no, I'm gonna stick this out?
Talking to the married man or who
or really for anybody. What has made you say I'm just going to stick this out as opposed to
I don't want to step on anybody's toes, but I can definitely answer. So I would first preface it by saying that everybody's situation is different. Everybody's coming with their own thing, their own guidelines, their own baggage, their own experiences, their own way that they value and weigh things on a scale. I think everybody has either a conscious or subconscious scale. For me, I'm just like big on character and on so it may be sappy, it may be corny, but I'm gonna say this. So the love languages is like super huge, right? So we know there's like act of service, there's gifts, there's what else? There's like words of affirmation, there's
words of affirmation,
quality time.
Here we go.
Yes.
Personal touch. And even before these things were coined by that white guy, we just knew that these were things that existed, right? So I would say the first thing that I would do is really know self. Like knowledge of self is not just a 5% term. It's like a real practical, fundamental key to existence. Like that shit is like I'm almost about to cry, bro. Yeah, man. It's so important to me. You know what I'm saying? But so identifying like your top two, you know what I mean? Like for me, I'm gonna give you the secret and shit. So my top two is probably, it shit vacillates, it goes up and down. But if I were to like narrow down my top two, it's gonna probably be acts of service and words of affirmation, right? You need to like tell me how much I mean, how much we mean together, and then you need to actually do the shit that you say you're gonna do. You know what I'm saying?
Why you speaking so low in this part? Like,
I'm making it real, making it nice, making it nice.
The ambiance.
Yeah, the ambiance. So, but almost as important, not as important, because knowledge of yourself is the most important, but almost as important is knowing what the other person's top two are. You know what I mean? Sometimes them shits jive, and sometimes that shit is like, my shit is this and your shit is gifts. And it's like, fuck, you know what I'm saying? But at the end of the day, knowing that and then having the wherewithal to come through in those things, I think that's key. I guess last point I'll make, because I feel like I'm rambling, is just if the shit is working, then you do what's necessary to keep it fucking working. You know what I'm saying? If it's not working, then you can look back and see the track record and patterns. I'm big on pattern recognition. I think that shit works in the stock market. It works in relationship building. It works in all areas of human existence. Pattern recognition is like one of the keys that I hold dear. You know what I'm saying? So if you look back, so let's say you on month 6 of your relationship, and then that thing comes up that you like, oh man, this nigga done did this shit, and I'm not fucking with it at all. You know what I mean? There are things that people do that you like and you can deal with because you like it. There are things that people do that you do not like, but you can deal with. And then there are things that people do that you do not like that you cannot deal with. So I would say first, like put the shit into that, like one of those 3 bins. Shit that they do that you like and love, shit that they do that you don't like or love, but you can kind of deal with and work through. And then absolute non-starters that you are not fucking with whatsoever. And if a person ever does one of those things, I wouldn't say wholeheartedly dismiss it, but like really sit back and say, okay, why is this a non-starter? Is this a non-starter because I've been conditioned for it to be a non-starter? Or is it a non-starter because I really, 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 to my core, cannot move on? And if it's something like that, break fast, you know what I'm saying? But if it's something that falls in the other bin, it's something that you didn't really like, but it's something that you can kind of work through and deal with, I would then gauge the other person's willingness to converse and deal with it. And if they lack the willingness to converse or deal with it, that's when, again, I would say you need to break fast.
That's good, bro.
That's a whole lot, bro. So,
that's a word right there. It's a word.
That's a word, exactly.
When this is finished,
hey, go ahead.
Oh no, I'm trolling.
Okay. To add on to what Brother Vig was saying, man, around but to your question around how do you know when it's time to go, or how do you stay?
How do you stay?
How do you stay? Peace and blessings. It takes a certain level of maturity, right? And this is a term that I don't think we use enough of. It takes a very mature person to be able to stick it out and really have the conversation. So it's like if you've been through some things, you kind of want to get straight to the point immediately. Like, you know, the brother brought some cards to the first date. Like, let's get some things on the table. Let's get some things on the table before we even. You dig what I'm saying? Before we even get started, let's just get some things out here on the table. What are you really looking for? It's like, let's have that conversation,
right?
So we can know if it's a deal breaker from the gate, as opposed to us spending so much quality time. Go ahead, bro.
I was gonna say, tell him to bring some cards up so we can hear some of the examples that y'all were going through.
Yeah. You got to get some examples. I'm gonna say another thing too is, and this is what I struggle with, and that's kind of proper temperament, right? Mm-hmm. So sometimes, what they say, if you could change one thing about yourself, what would it be and why? Got you.
He would say, I wish it was a little bit taller. I wish
I would have made that plus one that Randy was talking about. I wish I would have done that. Something with one.
She's short. She's fine.
I don't know if he really said that, Brandy. I was just trolling.
Well, I'm saying they're good. I saw.
You saw the pictures.
Yeah. But I would say that proper temperament, man. One of the things that I kind of struggle with is, because I done been in so much freaking trouble in my life, is that I'm always ready to defend. I'm always ready to defend myself. You dig what I'm saying? So I can get real defensive, and really just because of the tone of how you said that, I'm like, I'm trying to do. And when I really just be like, oh yeah, peace and blessings. You're right. I need to recalibrate some things and get some things in order. It takes some maturity, right? Scripture would say that a word fitly spoken is like an apple of gold set in silver. You dig what I'm saying? So it's not necessarily about what you say, but it's about how you say it. You dig what I'm saying? And I have like you, even with my children, I have to kind of like, I'm a rah-rah dude in a very positive way. So if I say something like, hey, no, just get this and move that. Okay, Dad, calm down. Like, calm. I'm chilling. I'm just saying, just move that over there. That's all. But it's like the way you said it. So you got to be
fitly spoken.
Yeah, we got to be fitly spoken. You feel me? You got to. So it takes a level of responsibility, not responsibility, but maturity, to really do some, self-calibration. You know what I mean? Self-calibration. No, this thing gonna work out. No, we good. And another thing I wrote on my list here, at least in my estimation, is struggle. You dig what I'm saying? Like how you stay. Like sometimes when it get tough, that's when everybody ride out. But how you know it's gonna last and you gonna hang on is because when you was there freaking grinding, when you coming home 3 o'clock in the morning because you working 2-3 jobs, because you out here doing this, that, and the other, because you grinding for real, and you still, and I'm still standing with you, you still standing with me, and we may butt heads a little bit, but we here. You dig what I'm saying? Me and my brother say, without the struggle, what is it worth? You dig what I'm saying? Like when the hard times come, where you at? And so I think when you know it's gonna be one, you're gonna be there for the long haul. You dig what I'm saying? You're gonna be there for the long haul, and I don't be afraid of the struggle. Don't be afraid of the dang gonna struggle. Lean in, and then maybe there is when it's tough, because you're gonna say some things, and things may be happening. You like, hold on, time out, But before you know it, y'all you tight and right, and now you ready to take a life and give a life for this. You dig what I'm saying? That's real. Now you holding the line like, oh no, this right here. Oh, we go. Well, is one of my favorite songs. I don't want to digress, but by D'Angelo, it's called "The Line." I don't know if y'all listen to that. Put it on the line. Oh, he got this one little line in there where he say, I go to the fire with you. I go to hell and die with you. You dig what I'm saying? Like, don't get it twisted. I go to hell and die with you. That's how I'm all the way in. You understand what I'm saying? But that's what it is. Lean into the tension. Lean into the struggle.
To that point, I would also add, and this is for those of us. I feel like we're all similar in this way, that we all have winning spirits. I feel like we are all. I don't care what industry you're in, what you do, quote unquote, do. I feel like we are all warriors and champions, right? So this is only specifically for the champions.
No losers.
Right. So what I would say is this: recognition that there are things about you that she ain't fucking with either. You know what I'm saying? There's shit about you that she ain't necessarily fucking with either.
Right.
Like the other party, you know what I'm saying? So, person who is confident and who has a certain number of wins underneath their belt,
Yeah.
we can get a sense of like, man, yo, I'm the prize, really. You know what I'm saying? But at the end of the day, no, y'all are both the prize is the journey, the prize, and you just are a participant.
That's right.
You know what I'm saying? In the prize. And there are things about you that fall into her second bin, the shit that like that you do that she don't like or he don't like in your case, that they can deal with, but they would rather you change. So the humility, I hate that word, but I'll use it for the purposes of this. The humility that comes with knowing that there are things that you need correction in and that you need to work on, and there are deficits in your character and your ways and actions that you can improve upon. It keeps you motivated in a standpoint like, yo, why am I picking you apart where I can just focus on picking myself apart, as opposed to every little thing that this nigga's doing. Let me get out of here because I'm perfect and I can find someone else who is perfect like me, when that shit is a fool's errand, because there's absolutely nobody perfect, and we all have opportunity for growth.
I will say this real quick, Brandon, then you going up. Just check this out. A humbled earth produces much fruit. So humility is huge. I love that. Peace and blessings. Go ahead, Brandon. My apologies.
Okay, I feel like the conversation has evolved, so I don't want to digress and get back to the very basic, shallow, surface level shit. But I have a question. So I believe that Black women in particular have been taught directly or indirectly that we have to settle, that we cannot have what we want. Now, Don is fine. His wife is gorgeous, right? I don't know, Troy, you handsome. I don't know what your wife looks like. I'm sure she's beautiful. Maritha, your partner, beautiful. So, Renee. So, like, I feel like sometimes the push, follow through, push through, Tamara saying, like, how do we keep the struggle and all that? You know, like if the man has a woman and he thinks she's gorgeous, or just, you know, he look at her with stars in her eyes, then like he may have struggle. But if the woman has settled, because all the good guys finish last, or he doesn't have to be that tall, or his teeth don't have to be that straight, and so we just settle for the short buck teeth looking kind of crazy, looking kind of slow, and then when the struggle comes, we might not have a whole bunch of struggle in us. You know, looking at me, I want to keep on struggling. He might want to keep on struggling if he's looking at me, but I'm looking at him and it ain't no struggle. So how do we first, like, so the question is, do y'all think, because I was on the phone while I was driving home trying to get the join, right? So I don't know who, it sounded like Troy's voice. I don't know whose voice it was. Do y'all think like the whole play the field thing, do y'all think Black men or men in particular are taught to get the one they want? Or like Don, you even told Jamal, what's the one you want? Like women, no woman has ever told me like, girl, well, which one you want? 6'3", well, go get him, Brand. No, it's like, is he kind? Like, aren't y'all taught to get the one? Go ahead, Jamal. The fine one with the fat ass and all that. Because I don't think y'all are taught to settle like we're taught to settle. So then when the struggle come in, you know, I'm run out quick because it's like I already done settled on you need braces and you not an alpha male and you're corny and you like Pokemon and you ain't pro-Black enough. And I didn't settle because you was
I would say that's the problem.
Let me add this to Brandy's question. Is this getting to what we talk about as far as being evenly yoked in whatever sense? So I mean, your question wasn't far off. So I mean, I guess extending that out.
So
I'm gonna say, okay, go ahead.
Go ahead. Well, I'm slow. So what's the question now? Like, what are we asking?
Like,
do y'all think that men are taught to get the woman they want physically first, because that's what we see first, and then all the things they want, and that women are taught? Well, y'all don't know what we're taught, but are y'all taught to get the one that y'all want, the pretty one, the one y'all want?
Good question.
I know there's a difference between standards and preferences. I went after the standard that I want, not so much the preference, the physical, all that kind of stuff. My girl, my lady has it now. Don't get me wrong, but it was the standard of woman that she was that I think me and Don was talking about. Like, bro, one shot, one kill. Who are you as a person? Where you're going? Find that mate that levels up to that, and it gets going in the same direction. So I've dated plenty of pretty women in my past that wasn't on the same mental level than me.
You missed it. Have you dated non-pretty women in your past?
I've never done that. I've never done that. So I would never say settle for that.
Hey, I'm not gonna say no what you want. I'm not gonna sit here and pretend. I'm not gonna sit here and pretend.
Word.
That one is not first attracted through the eyes.
Okay,
I believe that's why they were created.
That's why I say never settle on that.
So when I gaze upon I gazed upon this woman and I was like, yo, first time ever seen, I was like, yo, I'm gonna marry you because you that's what I'm talking.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. But y'all will hear black men all over Facebook and everywhere else like, oh, why you gotta have the tall one? Well, I'm 5'7" and some coin. Why you be tall? Like, why can't that be a gift?
I mean, she asked a valid question.
She does. I have two daughters and one in the way.
What we doing?
Go ahead.
I'm ready to answer the question.
Go ahead,
Marifa. My bad.
Okay. All right. So here's how I think we're raised. We're raised to go after the top-notch, cream of the crop, fine woman. But reality is, we might not have the physical attraction to get said woman, right? So another question in the comments was, do men settle? I think, we settle
all the time
because we don't. Some of us, there go Chris. Some of us don't.
He said some of us do settle.
Let him finish.
How do you disagree with that?
I didn't settle.
No. You didn't. No, listen. You may not have settled, but here's
some
what
people
I'll say.
do.
I'm saying we're raised in a way where we seek out what we think is top notch, like Beyonce's and all that stuff, for example.
Maybe.
Okay.
That is only the winner's mindset, though.
Yeah, bro.
Most people, like, listen, let's say you start dating when let's call it 15. All right, let's call it 15.
Whoa, before you go into a long thing, what part of y'all disagreeing with so far? You said something about winner's mentality or something like that.
I'm disagreeing with the idea that everybody sets forth with trying to find the hottest woman.
No.
That's necessarily true.
Okay, everybody. I'm saying a large part of us trying to get women who are fine to us, who are 10s. Like when I was growing up, you wanted to get the woman who was considered a Halle.
Okay, so
Halle Berry type.
Women who were unattractive. Jamal said he has not. Have you?
No. What now?
I asked Troy, has he dated women who he considered to be who didn't give him butterflies? Have you?
Hey,
no.
Hold up though.
Okay, so you
have sit here in front on
Jamal has it.
Y'all don't sit here. No. Like y'all weren't raised to try to get the top-notch women, and you found out you don't measure up.
Listen,
Don, have you dated women who?
I've never had that problem.
She bad.
Bro.
I've never had that problem.
I'm gonna take this right here.
So
I think Marifa is speaking truth, and I think we need to understand that I don't know anybody, any human that is in pursuit of a relationship that's not looking for whatever they perceive to be the cream of the crop.
Okay, so
they're going in and they trying to find that one.
They trying to fight, and then reality hits, and you find Brandy, because I think men settle. They can disagree all they want. Men settle. That's why they be beating these women upside the head sometimes. But I'll get to that. Listen, they settle. They don't they don't measure up. Some men, we see them, brother, you struggling. The kind of woman he wants don't met. He with a woman he don't really want. That's a fact.
Here's the thing though.
Do you think that's a confidence thing though, bro?
I don't care what it is. I'm saying it's a reality. They do not get the woman. Yo, I know, bro. Listen, I know brothers who will not. A woman wouldn't mess with these dudes that listen, they sit in my chairs in the office. I'm telling you, and they condition the woman they want don't want them. I'm telling you what I know.
But so here's
I don't know why we're doing this.
So y'all are even taught, encouraged, convinced that you should go after Beyonce, and if you can't get Beyonce, get Kelly. You can't get Kelly, get Michelle. But we are taught. Is he kind?
No,
right, I got you. I agree.
You know what I'm saying?
I'm gonna let them say what they think. I don't see how they see it.
Listen, I don't think there's a ranking in that regard.
It's not what you mean. I said him out of order or whatever.
No. I'm saying I will agree that I would agree that men are conditioned the way where many times the way we're kind of conditioned is looks first, right? And then integrity after. Like once you get the visually appealing one, then there's the integrity and the everything else goes into it, right?
Right.
But I would also say that from a woman's perspective, again, I'm not a woman, so I'm just positing here, right? Not you, but many women get like the finances first. So where the men go after looks many times, and we're taught to go after looks first. What many times women are taught in this environment anyway is financially. How can they provide support?
No,
I
think that's a misconception. If you all really knew that we want the finest thing first too,
we do.
Yeah, I mean the finance is important, but we would love to get. Well, I'm just gonna go. People love to use the Denzels, but they would love to get the Denzels until they real. I'm just using him as an example. But they will love the most attractive in our eyes as well until the reality hits.
Right.
Well, but I gotta say though, look, I've seen some very, 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 very beautiful sisters, and I went in and I had to have, and when I got, I'm like, I should have got something else. That for me would have been settling because they didn't have everything that I wanted. Right. I mean, that's what I thought I wanted, but when I got it, nah, that's
right. Well, I guess maybe Brandy, maybe this is what you're asking. At what point did you realize that? I guess to the point that you're making, when did you realize that wasn't settling?
I think what she's really asking is, how do you, if you're dating someone or with someone who doesn't meet your standards physically, how do you stay when you're not really attracted to them anymore? And what I would say is that
what she's asking?
No, I was just saying, how is it fair that y'all get somebody fine and we got to get somebody work with them? And
not saying
no, she's asking.
I'm asking you, go for what you want. That all y'all get a beautiful woman and we
but
he's nice,
brother.
But still, though, you can still get that beautiful woman. She could have the behind that. I mean, just the onion booty and everything else, and then you find out she'll burn a peanut butter and jelly sandwich.
Yes, Howard, you know that. That's a different conversation.
But that fades.
Because the men on here have beautiful women who will not burn a peanut butter and jelly sandwich. What I'm saying is the men on here who have women, they're all beautiful. And I'm saying, like, Tamara she beautiful. She ain't got no fine man, right? You single, right?
Yeah, I am.
I'm not hard to look at. And, people be telling me to go with fake hubby because he buy me flowers and because he show up. Well, he 5-something too. So what if I want him to buy me flowers, show up, and be tall? Can I get this?
Yeah, I will say this right here, Brandy. Point well taken, Brandy. Listen, I'm not a fan of settling.
Okay,
let it be clear. So everybody ought to be in pursuit of whatever they deem to be the standard by which they deem it to be.
Thank you,
and pursue that, and don't go and don't hold the line until you get what the frick you want.
Thank you,
I ain't settling. When I wake up in the morning, I want to look at this beautiful woman and be like, peace and blessings. I want to be able to say peace and blessings. Peace and blessings. Yeah, that's what
I disagree. If it's based on, if we're basing it on getting a fine person who's super attractive, we got to be real.
No, I'm not saying fine, super attractive.
Not you. I'm not saying you.
Okay.
I'm just agreeing with Don Thomas.
Okay.
only on this angle, because he says don't settle, and I'm saying I think you should switch what you think is top prize.
Right.
Because if it's based on looks, unfortunately, in this world, beautiful people tend to want to be with beautiful people. That's what tends to happen. So if we
everybody want to be with beautiful people. The ugly boys want to be with a beautiful woman.
take out looks.
That's true, Brandy.
See, Brandy, you don't like this, no, because if you take our looks, it goes to kind.
No, we're gonna keep it equally yoked. We're gonna keep it equally yoked.
That's probably
hey, check this out. Check this out.
We're gonna keep it equally yoked.
If you so this is my
thing. Get up and twirl, but we're gonna keep it equally yoked.
Yeah.
Okay? I'm gonna be the only one with the breasts, pretty teeth. We're gonna keep it equally yoked. I'm gonna say that.
As you should.
Brandy.
Okay. No one should settle. No one should be settling, man. I promise you that.
Yeah, that's how it starts on day one. You know what I'm saying? So for us, if the goal is to be in a long-term relationship, right?
Right.
And let's say on day one, I meet a beautiful woman, you know what I'm saying? And you meet a beautiful brother, you know what I'm saying? And y'all are physically attracted, and then you meet, and then you find out, wow, this person has intellect, they have a spirit, they are nurturing, they are supportive, they're productive, and all the things that you would want in a mate, right?
He be gardening.
He be gardening. he know how to roll like the perfect J. I mean, everything works. You know what I'm saying? Absolutely.
A glass of wine. Yeah.
Absolutely. A glass of wine. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So, but that's day one, right? And y'all are 20, y'all are 27, 28, and y'all are all good, right?
Okay.
Then you live, and you live, and you live. And then let's say you get married, right?
Mm-hmm.
And you live together, and then all the nuances of life happens. And before you know it, you're 10 years in, maybe there's a kid, maybe there's not, but the body starts to change. Life
but
starts
at least
to
you
happen.
started out good.
Listen, life starts to happen. Wrinkle starts to form on the face.
I don't want to hear from you because you got a beautiful wife. You got a beautiful wife. I don't want to hear from you.
Okay, so here's the question.
I'm giving you the game.
When are you all, or when have you all taken honest stock of the 5 or the 4 or the 6? Or have you ever pursued those?
Right.
The 4, the 5, the 6.
4, 5, or 6.
They said they have never. We're not talking to them.
Didn't say that. Hey, hold up. First of all, Tam, you can't actually talk about trying to find a stable relationship because you only offering part-time hours and the brother wants a 40-hour job. All right. I mean, you only get.
I'm just asking the question.
You only giving 24 hours on the job.
I'm only asking the question because I know
3 days a week. 3 nights a week. 3 nights a week.
Don't get on Tam like that. We're not.
Was there ever pursuit for the 4, 5, or 6? Did that ever catch your eye?
In the looks,
somebody put in here. Somebody put in the chat that beauty is perspective.
ISIS. Somebody want to hear that. Yeah,
I'm saying.
We're talking about what we perceive as beautiful.
No man pursues 4, 5, and 6 as a first option. That's facts.
Hold up.
Disagree.
What is a 4? What is a 5? What is a 6?
Y'all know what it is. I don't know why y'all doing this today. I don't know why you're doing it.
One of my homeboys said, no, I got a homeboy that says 5 good 2s make a 10, bro. I mean, I'm just.
You ain't that, brother.
No. Not me.
Paying for 2 households and 2 Duke Energy bills and 2 high speed internet.
Brandon, here's my question for you.
Oh, keep going right.
Do you know what you want, and do what you want you? That's the question. Do you know what you want, and the man that you want, do you think that man wants you? If you can answer that question truthfully,
I don't know what he want. I'm not sure. I've dated some of the men that I think
that's
my shikwa said we can't.
And they want to play around, or they like white girls, or Latina girls, or light-skinned girls, or girls with weave. You know what I'm saying? It's not like I'm not smart enough or fit enough. Like they look at me and be like, "Look at them," you know, or you okay, you natural, okay, you know, got a daddy. So it ain't like I'm chasing some man who won't look my way. I mean, Jamal, you've seen me in person. Y'all know I'm not ugly, no ugly duckling with no stank breath tarted between my teeth. Not so like my view of the man I would marry is not unrealistic. No.
Okay. Well, you can't settle then. You can't settle.
What if,
I'm not gonna
Brandy?
settle. I'm not.
What about a man who works with youth? Right, he's dedicated to the youth. He runs, stays in shape. You know.
What you got somebody in mind, Marie? Or you playing with?
You know, he grew up in a city where we got heart. You know what I'm saying? Courage. You know what I mean? He's a good solid brother, man. Like, what about a brother like that? Oh, he's tall.
I mean, if he's tall and black with a strong back, well, let's
go. He's on his herbs. He does what he needs to do. Like, what if I introduce you to someone like that? What you think?
Trying to do something live right here, Marie?
Oh yeah, I troll 24/7. What I do.
I'm not sure if he.
If I look at my screen,
I know, where'd he go?
How many baby mamas does he have?
Baby mama.
Look at all these questions, though.
I think one.
Stand up and swirl around right quick.
Get a V. All these questions.
Brandy.
He's a stand-up guy. You know what I'm saying?
Well, I think you should introduce us, Marie, for after this. If you know,
a 6 could actually turn into an 8 in the proper context. Like, I'm not saying that a person, like when you go to actually quote unquote, I use the word hunt because hunt is the word that should be used right now. But if you are pursuing a person, then sure, you're pursuing an 8, 9, or 10, right? But if you're just living your life and you just so happen to work with somebody or be in the same groups as someone who is on face value a 6, but their energy, their spirit, their intelligence, the way they carry themselves, their humor, all these things vibe with you.
Is your wife a 6? Because if she not, I'm gonna need you to hush. Well, and I don't think she's a 6, so I cannot hear you right now.
Being it's a rap, man.
So I don't hear you. Cannot do that, Troy.
Okay,
you cannot do that. That's not fair, Troy.
Brandy,
That's not
let me
fair.
just say one last thing, and then I'll leave it alone.
No, it's another boy. Let me see your gorgeous wife, so I can cancel your show for the rest of the night. I guess you're beautiful because you're beautiful.
This is not for you, though. This is for everybody else who's listening out there. You know what I'm saying?
No, because we want the equally yoked. You got the equally yoked. Don got the equally yoked. Jamal and Marifa got the equally yoked. We don't want to hear from y'all.
That's inexperience, though.
Telling us to get no 6.
That's inexperience.
I never said that. I told you not to settle, Brandy.
I know you did. Thank you very much. That's why I'm fussing at Troy, because he didn't settle neither and trying to get us to settle on the low.
Listen to what I'm telling you. Even
man.
if let's say you get a 10, right? Let's say you get a 10, right?
Okay.
Life happens 4, 7, 10 years from now. That man has an accident and can't work no more. And he can't go to.
But we're not going to start off with the accident.
I'm giving you real life.
I know, Troy. I know, but we're not going to start off at 6. And
you saying initially falling in love. I need.
Oh man,
Brandy,
need some pretty to fall in love with first.
Brandy, if you're 25 and you get married at 30, right? Let's say you date for 5 years, and this person has been going to the gym, eating right for 5 years. You're 30, right? The first 5 years after that of marriage, he's still working out and everything's going well, right? But then something happens where that man either can't or chooses not to work out, can't or chooses not to work out, eat right, whatever it is.
Did you can't or choose not to eat right and work out? Because I'm looking at you at year 11.
Listen, I'm good.
Correct. So hush.
Don't be
somebody. None of the young girls need to see her tonight. Please don't got your wallet or something.
Can I say this real quick? Can I say this real quick?
That ain't right. What you doing?
Can I say this real quick? This is an outstanding conversation, man. I appreciate this conversation for real. Yeah. I will say this. One of the things that I heard was and I think Tam, it would be I would love to hear your perspective from Brother Jamal's question as well. I think that was a very important question to be answered around what do you really want, and if you're asked a question around what you want and not sure, then one needs to start there. I will refer back to one of the beginning statements from Brother V, at least when I came on, around knowledge of self.
That's right.
So once you understand who you are, what you want, that should be the impetus by which how you pursue whatever that mate is, right? In that regard. Also, I heard you say something around how many baby mamas you got. I know that's a thing. Peace and blessings. But I'm gonna say this right here. When I met my wife, we were both in the army, this kind of thing. When I met my wife, and I figured out that this was going to be the one that I wanted to be with for the rest of my life. Now she's a dime piece. It is what it is, whatever dime piece means. And that even that right there, I'm hesitant. But when we say beautiful, my wife is beautiful. Don't get it twisted. Period. But I'll say this as well. And I'm not basing that on any type of standards, whatever. I'm just saying peace and blessings.
Right.
Y'all funny.
You know what I mean? It is what it is. But I'll say this. Hey, but I'll say this as well. I'll say this as well is that I was willing to be with her and whatever she came with.
That's right.
Whatever she came with, I was willing to take on all of that.
That's right.
And I think it's important that we really kind of recalibrate understanding who we are. So because I understood what I wanted, because I understood that I needed a strong woman, not necessarily, you know what I mean? It's the cherry on top. It is what it is. Peace and blessings. But you had better believe that I needed based upon everybody ain't going like we've talked about the privileged way by which I'm surrounded by men and understood that. I understood that if I wanted to build a legacy, like my grandfather built a legacy, I need to look at my grandmother and how my grandmother held things down. When I wanted to, if I know that I wanted to pursue certain things and whatever, this, that, and the other, I only need to look at my mom's and see how my mom's held things down, held him down, so on and so forth. And there were characteristics. And another thing, you asked me, did I ever date? I want to be totally transparent. I never dated like that. That wasn't my thing. Because at a very young age, just me personally, I came to understanding how important my time is. My time is valuable. I seen too many homeboys like, hold on, bro, we in high school. You've been with her for 4 years, G? You've been with her for 4 years and y'all just broke up? Oh my God, this is the dumbest thing I've heard in my life. Those type of things. So time is like, nah, I don't do that. I don't do that. My wife used to say, I love you, I love you, I love you. And I never said it back because I was like, yo, when I say that, I'm saying that because we're gonna be in it for the long haul. Like when I say that means a thing, type of understanding. And so when I hear did you get how many baby mamas you got? Well, what if I got 3 kids?
Right.
What if I got 3 kids? I'm out here and I'm out here taking care of all my children. I was out here. It may have been a one-night stand framework. It might have been I was in a relationship for 4 years and had 2 kids. Now that broke up. I'm 6'1". I'm making 6 figures. I'm black and I got a strong back, but I got these kids. So now me and we can't do what we got to do to build something. You know, like it's interesting times, man. Interesting. Times.
Go ahead, Brandy.
I was gonna say,
I love y'all. I love y'all.
3 kids and 3 baby mamas. I'm gonna wonder like how I'm not gonna be number 4 out of 7 baby mamas. Valid. Or like, what about that didn't work? Or how will it work with us if you didn't make that work? You know, made humans from these women and you left them. You can leave me. That's why that question is important. You know,
those are fair questions.
Baby mamas.
Those are fair questions.
Yeah,
because men do it. Men say, "How many baby daddies do you have?"
Yeah, I told you.
They'll be like, "If you got one,
I'm done."
Yeah, so it's
not that I'm not willing to work, but it's like a pattern. Pattern. What'd you say, Troy? A pattern.
Pattern recognition.
Pattern recognition. I recognize that you will.
Big was like, "Don't call on me now." You know,
you was hating earlier. You was hating earlier.
Oh yeah, because we're not talking about that no more. Because he's still in time. And I still want to see your beautiful wife anyway. No doubt. But yeah, the pattern would show if you got a bunch of baby mamas and kids that you
lacking some. Yeah.
You might not make it work. Yeah, you might. It might get too tough for you once again, and then I'll be a baby mama number, whatever. That's all.
Yeah. So, I'll say this, brother. My other thing that Brother Dunn told me, bro, he told me don't settle. Right? He told me that. He said, man, do not settle. Waking up, everything he's saying on this call tonight, he told me around that fire tonight, that night. So I believe in the law of attraction. Once I set my sights on my fiance, I wrote her name down in my journal. Yes, I'm a man and I journal to get
love it.
Out, right? I wrote her name down in my journal, and within like the next 2 days, we ran into each other. Now we had been knowing each other for almost 3 years only seen each other in business and work settings. Once I wrote it down and made it plain who I wanted, then the next 2 days we ran into each other. By the end of that week, we was on our first date.
With the card.
I believe in the law of attraction, man. I set my sights. I set my sights on what I wanted. I don't say it's gonna happen as soon as it happened for me, because I had to heal first. I had to go through 2-3 years of therapy before I even had my first breakthrough of getting out of. I would say this: a lot of grown men has to heal the little boy inside of them before they're willing to be with a woman.
Yeah,
I think women too. So I had to heal the little boy inside of me, and once I healed him and told him to shut up, but also gave him the attention he needed that he never got, I was ready to step into that. Within a month or two, I was meeting her. We was on our way. But I did, like I will say, Troy and Don and Marie for speaking the truth, man. You have to know yourself.
Troy not speaking that truth. He lying.
Yeah, he is. He's speaking that truth.
I want to see that wife. I want to see that wife.
He's speaking that truth, man.
Randy says,
"Man wants you, you will know." Period.
She want to hear from brothers who got 4, 5, and 6.
I mean, if you're gonna talk about a 4, 5, I'm gonna need you to have a 4, 5, and 6. Yeah,
4, 5, and 6 before you can talk. I get it. I've been
with a 6, not no 4, 5.
I don't know why the brothers.
I don't know too many brothers that's gonna be like, yeah, hold on, let me go get my 6. Let me go get my 6 and bring on here so we had this conversation. Baby, can you please affirm to them that I am a man?
Yeah. Hey, Don, you I don't want to bring it back at Cam. You don't want to answer the question. He put a question out there for you. I don't know if you want to skip that.
What was specifically, what is the question?
Yeah, Don, you were saying for Cam, like what you want, or
it was a question that Jamal put on the table.
Sorry.
Go ahead, Brandy. No, you good. Go ahead.
What they asked me, and I think they were saying you answered too. Do you know what you want, and if what you want wants you? So I answered already.
I would say yes. I know what I want. I'll answer what is it that I want. I want someone.
6. I'm playing.
Well, okay, I'll get to that. I want someone who has the same aspirations that I do, that I have, not necessarily as relates to my career, but just the things that I want out of life. So, having a family, seeing the world, wanting to build something. I want us to be on the same page as it relates to that. Have I met that? Yes and no. Don, you weren't here when I came on earlier. I've dated, but I haven't been in a full-time relationship for about 10 years. I think I've met it, but I can honestly say I haven't always put in the work to keep the relationship. And so I think this was part of the question I asked before, like what has made you stay in it or not just kind of walk away? And obviously for not like the worst conditions, somebody's being abusive verbally, mentally, physically, but what has kept you staying in it? And so I think for me, I know exactly what I want. I met it in a few people, but I don't think I've always put in the effort to even take it beyond to see if it can even make it to a full relationship.
Why not?
Well, sis, I was gonna say, like, were you just not? Were they a 6? Somebody had convinced you to
no, and because sometimes 6s, I think 6s are subjective. You could be cute in the face, but your body may not be just like the greatest, but you're still handsome. Face for me is the biggest thing. So I don't need a 5 or 6 foot or whatever.
How tall are you?
I'm 5'7".
Okay, so we're the same height. So you don't need no 6 feet, nothing.
Well, I mean, he could be 5'11", 5'10".
Hey, the 5'11" is in the door, man. Okay,
yeah.
My height or higher. Let's say about a 5'8", 5'9", 5'10". But I will say some of it is, still learning myself. I think if we're all honest, at least for a lot of women, there are some issues that we still have to resolve, even at whatever age we're in, whether it's some daddy issues that are still lingering. So, I mean, I still have some of those as well, but I think part of that has led me not to kind of fully pursue things. You know, I won't even say that I'm running from anything, or like when what they say, when the going gets tough, the tough gets going.
Yeah.
It even hasn't been that. If I don't feel like it's really going in the direction that I want, I'm just not going to put the effort forth. Mm-hmm. And maybe I'm opting out too quickly.
Do you think that if you maybe were more attracted to the man, then you would have more desire to keep, because I've never like been with a man who I'm like, nah, I just love him. My ovaries, I just love him. We gonna get married, and then I don't try. No, if I'm like, he all right, then I'm not gonna try if the shit get tough or he get on my last nerves or something. But if I really am into him and I really saw the whole jump in the broom and all that, I'm gonna try. So, like, do you think maybe you didn't like him that much to begin with?
I think partly so, that, there was some qualities about him that I liked, but I didn't quite see us like, okay, this is heading down the aisle. So, I mean, a part of that was the case. I think early on there was some that I was interested in, but, those lingering issues of, trust and all of those things kind of played a part into it. But
I feel you, sis.
But the thing is, for me, and I can't. Well, and I'll ask you, Danielle. I'm still optimistic about relationships. I'm not walking around, thinking that it can't happen, whether it's marriage or even having children or start a family. I definitely don't have this feeling that there aren't any good Black men out there that I can't meet. I'm optimistic about love. Now, do I put an emphasis on it? Maybe not as much, but I love Black men, and I think there's somebody out there. I just haven't met him yet, or he hasn't met me.
Too. I'm a pop my shit now, but I'm still optimistic.
I do agree with what Ice is putting in the chat. Men have to heal, and because we will push women away, and I think women, y'all push men away too. If you want to be honest, you can be all the way honest on this call.
Go on, Jamal.
You have probably dated men in your past that you like, damn, why did I push him away? No, Brandy.
I swear I can't name one, honey. I'll be ready to get married and have the babies. I've been ready.
I've been in the situation before where I wasn't healed. And again, okay, Black women, y'all have a tendency, and I'm talking about Black women because it's Black women on the call. I know I probably triggered somebody. I apologize.
Oh boy.
Y'all push us to be the best that we can be. And sometimes we're not ready for that, but y'all keep pushing. And it's like, yo, I know you see this potential in me. I got to heal first. So, like, chill. We gonna do this together.
I would agree with that. I thought you were about to say we push you all away.
No,
I do.
It's like y'all push us to be our best self, and it's like, yo, I'm still working through it. I'm getting there. But
let me ask you to that extent, would you rather have someone push you in the positive direction, or would you rather have someone who's kind of co-signing the negative?
I ain't saying I want the opposite. I ain't saying I want the opposite. I want you just to be gentle with me. Like, damn, the world beats me up all day. Can you be gentle with me? Can you be gentle with me? Can I come home and find solitude with you because they beat me up at work? They beat me up in the community. I'm trying to figure this shit out. You my partner. Can you be gentle with me in the way that you say things to me? Don't push me so hard. Me and my homeboy say, I want the woman that love the hell out of me, literally. Because it's hell has been put in me.
Love that out of me. That love though come with the
fire.
And I agree. That has to be okay. I'm not saying this to you, Jamal. I'm just saying in general. Yeah. Yo, man, I want reality. I want my partner to be real as hell with me. Now, that doesn't mean to be abusive. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, but at the end of the day, it has to be couched in whatever language she sees fit for it to be couched to get through to me what the proper message is. You know what I'm saying? So if I'm messing up, if I'm doing something that's not to my higher self, I would implore my partner to like, yo, man, give it to me however you feel like I need to hear it. I'll be man enough to parcel it out and kind of get with that later, but I need you to give it to me how it is. Now, if the overall context of how she communicates with you is one of fire and nonsense, and that's something else. But if the general tone of her dialogue is one of countenance and beauty, but then at times she needs to give you the game, and the game comes how the game comes. And we should be ready to accept all of that because that's necessary.
And I am. I think just it's knowing each other. Y'all talked about love languages earlier. Me and my fiance had to understand our apology language. Like that took us to the next level. How she when like Troy said, I'm going to hurt her. I won't do it intentionally, but I'm human. I'm not perfect. But when I do that, she wants me to apologize in a certain way to let her know I still love her.
Oh, right? I love that. Oh,
I was apologizing in my way.
Right.
The way I want her to apologize to me and vice versa. And until we had that talk and I realized, oh, you want me to make it right in the moment. Me, I'm like, Troy, I got to talk about it. We got to sit down. Why did you do it? That's how you got to apologize to me. She's like, Bo, all this talking, make it right now. We can figure it out. We can talk about it. So once we figured out our apology language, man, we were able to be ourselves. I'm gonna say something you don't like, vice versa, but I know how to get us back on track because we want to be here. We want to move forward. So that was big for us.
That's good. That's good. I think knowing when to push is vitally important. How to push is vitally important.
Right.
Like you gotta be able to know that you gotta know the moments. You know, you gotta know the moments, man. Sometimes I make a mistake, and I know I made a mistake. And I don't need nobody else telling me that I just made that mistake. Like I'm about to rectify this right now. I know I did it. You know I did it. Everybody know what I'm about to get it squared. I don't need you saying absolutely nothing to me about it.
Right.
You did.
You let the lights on last night. It'd be some like small, simple shit too.
Exactly. You know? Like oh my god. So we just gotta be. I think, and that's just for us too, as we push our partners to be the best. ISIS, timing, being multilingual, intentional learning, listening, the whole nine, man. Yeah, all that. That's only if you're trying to be in real love. If you ain't trying to be in real love, then you need to disregard everything we talking about here. But if you talking about being in real love, I'm talking about that. You know what I'm talking about? If you're talking about that real love, then you're gonna be intentional, you're gonna be deliberate, you're gonna be listening, you're gonna be like, yo, I'm in it, I'm here. Yeah. I'm in it. 100, I'm down. I'm like I said, I'm with it to the wheels fall off this thing. I'm with it. You know, that's what we talking about.
Okay, good. So when you gonna gather the men and put me in tent? Marifa, when you going? I don't know who you was talking about, but why y'all don't go ahead and do that? Now I was fussing with you about this years ago, Marifa, to you and wisdom. When y'all gonna do that? Why is it not a village responsibility for y'all to link? The fine brother
Brandy, he pointing for you.
The fine brother is shy. We're gonna let him do his pointing. Okay.
You know we'll be dope, y'all.
On Facebook. It's
you know we'll be dope. Like super duper dope. We'll be super duper dope. Let's find a way to make that happen, right? Set up like 3 eligible kings, right? And then maybe like a month later, come back and give us the game. You know what I'm saying?
That would be beautiful, wouldn't it? Because I'm gonna.
That'll be dope. Yeah. Go on the dates and then come back and give us a report.
Go on the hikes to the waterfall. Yes, indeed. Yeah.
Now, Tam, you say you got someone in play right now, right?
Yeah.
Never mind.
Get him on I would definitely pass this off to Brandy because I would love her reaction and input. So let's start with Brandy first.
No. Let me go ahead and help the brother who's watching, who because he's secretly watching you right now. Yeah. My brother, all condolences. It's all good.
It's over.
Whatever.
It just wasn't a good match. That's all. That's all.
What happened?
You go your way. We're gonna find Tam. We're gonna plug into our resources and see what we can do. But shout out to the brother. You gave an attempt. It's all good. Sometimes it don't work out.
Wait. Somebody try to shoot that shot at Tam and Tam.
Oh no.
Basically,
Tam is only offering part-time work. Part-time work.
We just asked her about a situation. She goes, so yeah, he gone, man. He just a filler.
Do you know the man that they talking about? Do you know the man?
Yeah. Oh no, this was earlier. They asked me about a relationship.
Brother couldn't get full benefits.
But this is not about me. Right now, we're talking about setting up Brandy.
We're talking about Tam.
Yeah, they talking about you, sis.
Yo, Tam.
Y'all stop.
Honestly, this whole conversation started because of Troy.
Let me look him up. Text his name and I look him up on Facebook.
It don't matter though. When we asked about the situation, she goes,
yeah,
it's over.
What's happening?
We'll see. We'll see.
Is he a 4 or 5?
Brandy just started off with how busy I have been. Okay. So you know how that works out for relationships.
Because
I've been busy.
When you meet someone, you're like, yo, you make time.
Hell yeah.
Come on, talk. We started with that. We started with that.
Yeah.
Remember, Brandy, you missed it. She's talking about not have time, but they were seeing each other 3 times in a week.
Yeah.
That's a lot of time.
Was there.
And then his hours got cut.
He ain't the mix. It happened. It happened.
We just were, you know, we just working.
No, ain't nobody just work
like that.
How many days a week
Something
do
to
you work?
do. Get something to eat, someone to talk to, but
whatever. I'm not fooling with you, Marifa.
You work Monday through Friday?
Huh?
You work Monday through Friday full time? Like
I work 24 hours. Honestly.
You're
like right now, I'm supposed to be grading reports right now, but I'm taking a break. So
you're a teacher.
Okay. So after grading reports, kind of bored. What's up? What you doing? Little quick text. How you doing? But she ain't really feeling them.
Yeah, I gotta go to bed because I gotta get up at 4 to go to the
gym. Yeah. Listen, it's not. We understand. I'm just simply saying to the brother who's trying to see what's up. We know the answer. There's nothing up.
There's nothing up, brother. There's nothing up.
You're not trying to go to the gym, sis.
He don't see you like that.
No day and go to the gym, not one day.
You said what?
And that's okay.
Was you not ever trying to get up in the morning to go to the gym with you? Not one day out the week.
Look at Brandy.
He got breasts. He got breasts.
He got breasts.
I think Brandy brings up a very, very good point. Again, going back to the economics of this thing, if you work in an environment where basically work takes up a large portion of your day, then it has to be shared interest. The interest got to be shared to the point where y'all are in the same spaces. So
what work though? 3 times in a week they see each other. What we talking about?
Used to see each other 3 times a week.
Yeah, and now it's over now because there was nothing cooking.
One now because
hours got cut.
Yeah.
Hours got cut.
So
hours got cut.
Hey, one thing I do know is if you really feeling somebody, you gonna invest that time. I don't give a frick what's going on. I don't care what's going on. You're gonna invest that time.
You're gonna have to do one of those. Oh, I gotta listen. We gotta because I'm late. I'm behind on my work.
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
You ain't had one of those moments, okay? Because I'm just on you too much. I gotta just let me just refill. You ain't had none of that, man.
Whatever.
This brother ain't it. Ain't nothing wrong with that.
Ain't nothing wrong with that.
One person that's
we've already established don't settle. We've already established that. So if it ain't
no, like I said, and I'm cool with it. It's been years I've done this, so I'm fine.
So here's what we're gonna do.
No tears.
Hey, that's right. Isis said we gonna. Hey, Isis said if you feeling somebody, you gonna cancel a meeting.
You gonna cancel a meeting,
or they're not gonna get these papers graded back.
That's it.
Not till next week.
Come on, Tam. Come on, Tam. Come on, Tam. Let that honesty off your chest. Just gonna say he ain't the one. He ain't the one. Just say it.
He might not be. You know,
he might not be.
Let's discuss what that is.
But you never told me. Do he got breasts, or is that a requirement for him not to have breasts?
He had breasts.
Brandy, come on, Brandy.
He don't want to go to the gym.
No.
We gotta push up. We gotta push up.
Big guys, brother. Big guys.
We want to go to the gym, and I was thinking maybe. I was just trying to figure out what's wrong with him and what happened. She didn't tell me. I'm just guessing. I dated a man with breasts.
He ain't the one. He ain't the one. Just say it. He ain't the one.
Yeah, he might not be. Might not
it's
be.
all good.
Yeah.
Hey, we do got a push-up routine for the good brother though.
Say it again, Thomas.
He said you got to push up routine.
Hey, we do got a push-up routine for the good brother.
Nah, burpees. He got to do burpees. We start off with burpees.
Diamonds.
He gonna watch because you know that's what you do when you're interested. So brother man, let me just tell you something. Go ahead and go to Sacred Roots. You know what I'm saying?
Sir.
Stop prepping.
Yes, sir.
You know
By your online sponsor.
You see what I'm saying? Our sponsor right now. Hit the push-ups, the burpee.
Do you know who this man is?
No,
what's
I'm in Columbia. I'm in Columbia, South
Nah,
Carolina.
I don't. See, we're a brotherhood, so we understand. When a sister gives us those non-verbal cues that this ain't it, we have to be wise, see, and understand. Let me just start prepping for the next, right? Let me get right. You know what I'm saying? Get in the gym, run.
But it's time to move on, good brother. It's time to move on.
It's all good. It's all good.
It's not, is he reaching out to you and you're just like, I'm busy, I have papers to
No, we're both busy. We're both busy. So I mean, he's not putting as much effort. I'm not.
I don't know if y'all are reading Tam's body language, but she want to be off this topic, yo. And y'all
it doesn't
keep on hitting her with it. You know
it don't matter.
We're
moving on.
No, we're moving on.
Let's move on.
Once you come up here, it's free game. That's how that works.
We're moving on.
I'm cool. I'm cool with it. We started off the conversation. When we started off the conversation, I was like, "Hey,
she's from Detroit.
That means absolutely nothing."
And she used to hoop. We ain't babying her.
Yo,
nah, she good. Hey, we're moving on. I think we should move on. I think we should have some conversation about how Brother Howard and Brandy and so they can have a conversation.
Why would y'all do
and then next Thursday they can
That's what Marifa was pointing to.
I mean, but that man knew he was pointing. I knew Marifa was pointing. That man ain't said nothing. Y'all not about to embarrass me on here.
Oh,
nah, he just hangs in the cut. He's a calculated brother. That's all.
That's what that was.
Real G's moving silence like lasagna, man.
He from the chuck.
well, this is true, but yes,
You understand?
yes. Yeah. I mean, I've already looked at your Facebook. Oh, there's some good pictures of you in Africa
you
too.
Sleep. You see, Brandy, you sleep. Let me work.
Oh my!
Let me work.
Yeah. Was that a waterfall or a river? You know the one.
Which one?
You know the one where?
Which one?
I mean, I've been in many waterfalls and many rivers. You would have
Smackers, you ready?
Be more descriptive. Okay.
Calico, is you ready?
I can show it to you, but I don't know. You got to tell me what picture you
got. I will say this.
If you put a little heart, then I'll know and I can tell you.
Let me work.
Please let me work.
I can tell you what kind of
go chasing waterfalls.
Okay, so what is the date then? Oh, okay. That's too much.
It's gonna be a lot of head rolls.
I will say this.
What you talking about?
I say this.
Hold on, what she say? Are you 6'2"? I'm 6'3".
You ain't 6'3".
I'm 6'3".
6'2". I'm not gonna let you be taller than me. You 6'2". Get out of here.
I'm taller than you.
I'm taller than you.
No, you're not taller than me.
Marifa.
Alpha males.
Why did Benjamin, you know Benjamin in Ghana, right?
Really?
Why he tried to tell me his brother was tall as you? And his brother showed up at the airport and was this tall. And I said, oh, well, y'all go ahead.
Let me say this real quick, though, Brandy. All jokes aside, Benjamin, if you're watching this, you need to holler at me, brother. That's all I'm going to say to that. I'm familiar with the situation. I haven't publicly said anything about it. But, brother, if you watching this, you need to holler at me.
Oh, I wasn't
there ain't no joking with you, brother. So we're going to put it like that. That's what that is.
I wasn't talking about that part. Okay, now, anyway.
Back to the jokes.
Okay.
That brother better acknowledge the situation he needs to deal with first before we get on that. Okay.
I'm sorry. Yeah. I'm about to log off.
Talk to me, brother.
I gotta get up in the morning for this early morning workout, man. But I will say, man, the best advice is from these young men on the call that we've been going through ever since the pandemic. I've been asking the same question, Brandy. Y'all help me out. I was trying to get this conversation to happen. I'm kind of pissed at Marifa that we had this conversation after I found my queen, but I guess it was divine intervention.
I've been talking about it before that. It's okay.
You know what I mean? But I will say this. As you know yourself and know what you want, you attract that energy to you. And thank God I went on my healing journey, These Thursday live conversations during the pandemic was a part of my healing journey. Because I had a safe space to talk to and even offline, off of this Facebook, it helped me with getting to know myself, man, and I attracted the lady into my life that I wanted. So I could have settled, but thank God I didn't. And me and my girl actually look at each other sometimes. We be like, man, thank God that we didn't settle. So and none of us settle. So don't settle. Know what you want, go get it.
Jamal, have y'all decided on like the particulars yet? The dates?
No. We're gonna do a long engagement, about to go through couples counseling, all that good stuff, and then we're gonna decide that as we move forward. So
they thorough.
Yeah, we thorough.
Yeah,
that's cool.
Yeah, man. But good seeing y'all. Yeah, man. I feel like it's been a month of Sundays, you and V and C, man. But thank y'all, man, and we're gonna get up soon.
Hey Jamal, so all the jokes, good stuff, but on a serious note, we got to get together because we didn't talk tonight about all the projects going on, how they interlap and some things. We'll probably pick it up, if not next week after that, when y'all are free, and we'll get Greg. Greg right now is doing the event, Stop the Violence and stuff like that up in the university area. So we'll have that serious conversation coming up because a lot of our stuff is it's connecting. So, and once again, congratulations, brother.
Yes, sir.
Thank y'all, bro. Y'all be good.
Yes, sir.
All right. Yeah, man, that's good stuff, man.
It is good stuff. Hey, y'all already know how I get it in. I got about 9 more minutes left.
Me too.
I got 9 more minutes left, baby. Let's get it in.
My alarm goes off at 5:30 in the morning. So we all got 9 more minutes left. You know what I'm saying? But what we have established tonight.
Recap. Let's recap for 9 minutes.
Recap.
What's up?
My trolling recap is.
Oh God.
Tam has now pivoted. See that? The Detroit pivot. The Detroit pivot. And so we will accommodate that and set some things in motion for the good sister. Same with Brandy. You know what I'm saying? So we're gonna right. So and it's I was trolling a lot tonight. I apologize. And just being loose.
Hey,
you know what I'm
Marifa,
saying?
I needed that, bro. I ain't gonna lie to you. That's what I needed tonight. I needed to just kind of, everything.
It was great.
This is our man. Tam, I'm from Chicago. I've only been here for 7 years. So peace and blessings. When I hear the D is the peace and blessings. Detroit stand up.
Y'all trying to act like the girl weak or something. She's uncomfortable. We don't want to talk. She's from Detroit.
She good.
It means she passed that though. She's still a human.
Yeah. She don't need to be she don't need to be cornered and badgered.
Right.
Bruh, she gets cornered. You might catch an elbow.
On the court. She slammed a girl. Come on.
Thrown out of games.
That was high school.
She punched somebody in the face. It was blood. Come on.
Yo, Marifa, what you're doing right now is counterproductive to what we got going on in the broader scheme of things. You bring up all the other stuff.
Brother. Don't be the antithesis, good brother.
Right.
IDC.
Oh, Marifa's terrible.
I've given y'all. Hold on, let me calculate. I've given y'all like 7 years of seriousness. You understand? 7 years. All my life I had to fight. You know what I'm saying? And so if I want to take a few minutes, come on, talk to me.
You're right.
Give you a little bit of troll. You know what I'm saying? I think y'all will be all right. Ain't you from New York?
That's a good 6 years of trolling too. Let's not get it twisted.
A little something.
Hey, I also want to say this too. It was refreshing to have Tam and Brandy on low key.
Yeah, man.
Because we've been having these conversations around relationships and all kind of stuff. And peace and blessings to the comrade Jamal. Yeah. Jamal put some very controversial stuff out in the circle, and we didn't necessarily have immediate responses like the voices that we could hear. So it was good. It was refreshing to have y'all on.
Well, thank you. I think I started watching y'all maybe January. I don't know when you started the Thursday shows, Marifa, but thank you for having us on. Yeah, I thoroughly enjoyed the conversation y'all would have, just as men, but it's cool to pop on in and add a little bit of commentary as well.
Yeah, that's why I sent y'all the invite, especially Brandy. Brandy was mouthing off in the comments. So let's get her up here so she can talk. Look at her. So we can talk. You know what I'm saying? I know how she rolls. You know what I'm saying? I know both of y'all can handle it. That's it. Again, I'm just trying to play to your strengths. That's all. They want to baby y'all. I'm just trying to.
No, good questions. I love it.
We good.
No doubt.
You know what I'm saying? I love y'all, man. I appreciate y'all.
Likewise.
So,
likewise.
Are y'all good? Now next week we do have some serious things to get to. I had a couple people inbox me. They do want to have a conversation around health. Some people got some pretty good projects going on. I do want to kind of get a councilwoman up here. She don't even know I'm invite her yet. Just to kind of get her update and just kind of get a more community-based conversation going. Either next week or the week after that. I'm not sure. Depends on availability, how y'all feel.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I don't want to overwork y'all. You know what I'm saying? But I will say there is demand for good, serious conversations. People want to hear from y'all. People want to, hear perspectives and have conversations like we had tonight, not just about relationships, but community issues, et cetera, et cetera. So, next week we'll do some more. Say it again, Brandy, and waterfalls.
And community efforts and advocacy.
Right.
Yes.
Right. And Brandy, we got a link. You're back in Charlotte now, so
yes.
I ain't seen you in person since 1962.
I know.
Yeah, man.
We're gonna do better. No, we'll link for real.
Yeah, for real. So how y'all feel? Any final words, last words? I'm not trying to rush you, just last words, anything y'all got?
I'll say this, man. I'll say this, that I love y'all. Y'all know that these conversations are vitally important. And one of the things that the very impetus of these conversations, what kind of started this whole process, was really around how can we as Black folks be victorious? Right. You dig what I'm saying? That was the very crux of the conversation. And I think that we have done our due diligence in not just the pontification.
Okay, big word.
See, hey, it's only because V gonna lie. That's it. You know what I'm saying? And so it's not just because of the discourse that we would have, but it's really because bros have committed themselves to the action. And that's one of the reasons that I love coming on here, because I'm having conversations not with just great orators, but with great practitioners. And that is vitally important to me. And this is why I consider these brothers to be my comrades. And so, and obviously I consider you, Brandy and Tam, to be my comrades, and everybody in the freaking chat, except the ones that's trolling. No, I'm joking. But I mean that sincerely. And so I'm always, I just know that we are in a time to where our grind is going to pay off, that we will be victorious. Word. We will be victorious. And so I feel that we have this moment in time to use this platform, to use the work that we're doing to kind of release, to heal, and to bring some seriousness when need to, but also to take this conversation and to apply it, and to apply it. So, yeah, man, appreciate you.
Respect. Yeah, man. Respect.
Say it better. That's what it is.
Yeah, man. I love this, man. Good conversation, good people. Like Don Thomas said, with people who are putting in the work. It's hard to joke and have fun and talk to these community issues with people who stagnant. That's difficult. That's hard to do. So I respect what y'all do. That's why y'all get the invites, man. Your passion, your work, your commitment. You know what I'm saying? This is beautiful. So this is what it's all about. This is what it's all about. Y'all good, Chris? Howard, you good?
I just want to be your wife, Troy, and I ain't heard Howard say nothing about nothing. But
I'll post a picture in here.
Okay,
that's fine. That's
Chris,
fine.
you good?
Oh man, I'm good.
Got like 40.
Yeah. We had a good night tonight. We had a good night tonight. But now I'm good, man. I'm blessed. Word. Always good to be in the number with y'all again, man. Love the fellowship.
And Chris, we got to holler too. I got a feeling some of our projects, once again, line up.
Yes. Hey, let's work.
Yeah, man. Let's work. Matt. So next week, I'll go ahead and talk about some of the projects that are happening, because I might need some of y'all to help recruit, because we have resources available, It's just a matter of connecting with the right people who need them. Like young people ages 16 to 24, we got a serious program in place for them. Just a matter of getting to them. So so we'll have a conversation about all that good stuff, man. And we'll talk about your Hawks and how they're overrated and stuff like that.
Wow.
Little jab. You know, like I'm not gonna mention like the brother from New York got an Oakland A's hat on. I ain't gonna mention.
Yo, him and G Jack, man.
I got hats.
I like hats. What can I say? I'm unapologetic.
So next week, I'm gonna holler at y'all. As we leave, I'm gonna go ahead and dedicate. I'm gonna play some more of the song for Jamal as we roll out, and so he can. You know, the brother got engaged. You know what I'm saying?
Ain't you up next, or did I miss the wedding?
Whoa. What'd you say, Brandy?
I said, ain't you up next, or did I miss the wedding?
Calm down.
Wow, brother. Hey, Tam, we're gonna have to put the heat on this brother right here. That's the next question.
That's right.
If y'all think I can't handle heat, y'all must be don't know. You know what I'm saying? Just remember, I can reverse it.
Well, answer the question then.
You know what I'm saying? I can reverse it.
Yeah, okay.
He ain't even heard you.
All right, I'm gonna holler at y'all, man. Y'all go to sleep.
Go to sleep.
All right, y'all, I'm out of here. Love y'all. Peace and blessings.
Hey, appreciate everyone who's watched for tuning in. Myshika, everybody. You know what I'm saying? ISIS, everybody who was watching. Bomani.
See y'all later.
Man. Appreciate y'all for tuning in. We'll see y'all next week. We out, y'all. I praise the Lord above for sending me love. I cherish every hug.